Dan Vaccaro is present. Salami Dan, Hawthorn Life member, and Wodonga Bulldogs #1 ticket holder. Scott Montgomery, our A-grade game analyser, is nestled in, ready to go. And Mr. Tallangatta League himself, Scott Scooter Fraser, a man who played in Yak's last flag back in 2000. Gentlemen, welcome back to Sandy Creek Reserve.
Pleasure to be here, boys, and I'll take my Yak hat off in a minute and put the 2AY TDFL hat on, but Yak Reserves through to the grand final after winning the reserves just now. The under-17s, unfortunately, were a bit unlucky and went down to Rutherglen, and the under-14s have gone through, as well as the under-15s netball. So off with that hat, on with the TDFL hat and the 2AY hat.
Not before we talk about the Saints too, Scooter. You still got those to come versus the Giants, haven't you?
My boundary riding today might cut off at 3:20 when the Saints hit the ground. So welcome along to the other you guys, and hope we have a ripping day today.
Absolutely. A little bit cool, Scotty. It's overcast here at the moment, and I tell you what, we're feeling the pinch a little up in the box.
Absolutely. When the sun was out a bit earlier during the reserves game, it was fantastic, wasn't it? But now it's gone behind some clouds, and hopefully that goes away pretty quickly, because when the sun's out, the footy seems to zing a little bit more, and I know both teams want to get on the outside and really run today, so really looking forward to seeing my first game for the year in the Tallangatta League.
For sure. Dan, how are you, mate? Welcome back.
Thank you, Luke. I'm very well, mate, and hello to our viewers watching today. It's going to be a great game, and the ground looks superb. It's been a little bit suspect, the weather during the week, but it's holding up well. And I know why you're cold, Lukey, because you like to have the guns out at all costs, mate. Why can't you just wear a jacket, mate?
Yeah, well,
why can't you wear a jacket?
Panda gave me one last week. He said, you're wearing the extra small O&M shirt, and I thought, well, Panda, you give me one shirt in 2 years. I haven't got much choice.
A bit of shrinkage, you reckon?
Yeah,
You've been in the gym, it's just shrinking.
Just shrinking,
The
Scotty.
House of Pain.
The House of Pain. But here come the Swans now, and the Swannies, the reigning premiers, up against the Ruse, and a club in search of their first flag in 23 years. So they met twice this year, Chilton and Tallangatta. They drew back in round 2, it's 64 apiece in mid-April. Then in round 13, mid-July, it was the Ruse over the Swans by 10 points. Little between them. It's a stellar matchup. Scooter Fraser.
Yeah, Yak were in front by 20 points at half-time in that round 13 game, and Chilton came back. It was 10-10-70 to 8-12-60, so 20 scoring shots apiece, if you like. And obviously that round 2 draw early in the season, I guess that was the catalyst for Yak to realise, okay, they're last year's premiers and we've drawn with them. So that was that springboard, I guess, to realise where they were compared to last year. And here we are. Preliminary final day with both these sides with a chance to get into the grand final.
Absolutely, Scooter. The ruck duel, pivotal. It's huge. Scott Meyer, Kyle McGee up against Liam Williams and Zach Leach. It's going to be a beauty.
Yes, and I just sent Gus a message. I failed to mention on the all-rounders this morning, Zach Leach has signed on for another 2 years at Yak, which is a fantastic effort. He's really fitted into the club well. And I tell you what, I spoke to him about half an hour ago. His main goal today is to beat Scott Meyer again.
Oh, wow.
He's had the honours both times this year, and 3 votes in that round 13 game, and in the best as well in that round 2 game. So this is a duel that it's probably worthy of a grand final match, but certainly Leach has got something to prove today. Only his 3rd game out here at Sandy Creek, but Scotty Meyer's got some runs on the board. Watch out.
Absolutely, Scotty, the midfield battle. The Ruse, Lee Dale, Huey Jarrett, Ben McIntosh, Harry McBurney up against the likes of Brad Hiverson, Jaden Vandermeer, Mitch Hemming, Kyle Cooper. That'll be a beauty.
Absolutely, Will. A lot of pace in those two midfields in there and a lot of skill level. So it'll be interesting to see if Kyle Cooper starts in the middle, whether they'll start him forward. Obviously being that extra avenue to goal is very hard to match up on down there. So they've got so many options, both teams, and it's great to see.
Absolutely. The pre-game for Regional Ag and Construction, great sponsors of the TDFL stream this year. Dan, let's have a look here, having a look at on the Mac Jack Shed stat sheet for today, young man.
Bit of a mouthful, Lukey, the Mac Jack Shed stat sheet, but Lee Dale, I'm really keen to see what he can pull up. I don't think he probably had one of his best performances last week. He struggled a little bit and turned the ball over, which was very uncharacteristic from Lee, so I'm really interested. I think he might explode a little bit today. Huey Jarrett as well, he was a bit quiet for his standards last week, so again, wanted to see how he performs. Benny McIntosh as well, I think it's a big day for him. And Lockie McMillan, I think, is a very big in for Tallangatta. You saw last week as well when I was doing it with you and Scooter. They lacked a lot of run off the half-back line. They lacked that sort of a little bit of pressure when they come to the wing and that run, that drive, and Lockie McMillan will provide that today. So I'm taking his numbers as well. And for Chiltern, Jaden Vandermeer, I'll be doing his numbers. Mitch Hemming, Kyle Cooper, who's had a fantastic year, and Finn Lappin as well. I'll be taking his stats on the Mac Jack Shed stat sheet, Lukey.
Beautiful. Scooter, the forwards, the main target, or one of the main targets for the Ruse, Nick Donaghy, and for Chiltern, Mark Doolan. Two great forwards, and can't wait to see them in action.
Yeah, I did a review during the week and said it could be a shootout. We may well, I mean, Nick Houston will get the job on Mark Doolan this afternoon. He's kept him to 1 and 2 goals respectively during the year. So that's Doolan's lowest. That's very rare. So but it doesn't mean that a 4 or 5 goal holds beyond him today. If he gets the delivery and he gets the shots inside 50, game on. The other end, Nick Donaghy. This is probably going to be Finn Lappin's, greatest challenge for the year. Yep. He's played on Donaghy both times. Donaghy kicked 5 goals in that round 13 match and 1 in the round 2 match. So it's just whoever gets that upper hand at either end. I really don't think for all the matches so far in the final series, we've had an average winning margin of 56 points. We're not going to get anywhere near that today. I really think the shootout could happen, whether it's just 2 players, 1 at either end, but I think we might see quite a few goals kicked today.
Yeah, the Ruse absolutely super in their first final, but a professional win by the Hawks last Saturday. They choked them down in the first quarter, got numbers around the contest, and Yak just couldn't get their run going, Scooter.
Yeah, everywhere around those contests, Kiwi Sandy Creek had an extra player. It just seemed like they were there. The Yak guys were a bit flat, and as everyone knows, battered and bruised from the week before. And the Hawks were relentless, and it was a real, I wouldn't say a clinical display, but they did everything right. And when you're doing everything right, going hard at the ball, those fickle bounces go your way and capitalise, and that's what the Hawks can do. They are just, with 26 degrees forecast next week, it's going to be hot, and the way they run the football, whoever gets through today will certainly need to have their running boots on.
Absolutely. Now, Dan, we want a sharp start from the Ruse, don't we? As we just said, they weren't on their game in the first turn last week. They need to be today. Yeah,
absolutely. I don't know what pressure Chiltern's going to bring. Similar to Kiwa last week, Kiwa really choked them down and stopped all run at all, and almost as if that little saying of you stop a shark from swimming, they die, and that's effectively what happened to Yak last week. They really, really struggled after Kiwa got the jump on them. So they're going to be out of the blocks today. They've got to win it out of the midfield. You've got a fully fit and firing Ben McIntosh in there. He's got to get that first clearance and drive it forward for Yak, but just the hot start's super important for them, and they've got to inject that run. I mentioned before, Lockie McMillan's a big in for them because he's got that run off the halfback and can bring it to the wing and drive it forward for Yak and find space where there isn't so much space like there wasn't last week.
And there is one late change for the Chiltern team, boys, and it's Bodie Hibberson is out, which is a massive out for them, and John Pratt's come into the side. Just got back into the country this week, so he's come straight back into their side.
Yeah, very good. Solid boy, Scotty.
Yes, he is. He's played a lot of O&M footy, played a lot of Hume League footy, he's played a lot of good footy around the traps, but obviously been overseas for a while. We'll see what his conditioning will be like come the third and fourth quarter.
Boys, Yak and Dander have won the toss, and they are kicking to the right of the live stream screen, which is the equestrian end of the MCG of the Bush here at the Sandy Creek Recreation Reserve.
Beautiful, Scooter. TDFL prelim final day, Saturday the 9th of September, and the pre-game is for Regional Ag and Construction as the team gets sets now. The Ruse and also the Swannies, and as we know, the winner to advance and take on the Kiwi Sandy Creek Hawks in next Saturday's TDFL Duns Twin City Grains Grand Final for this year.
How's about Caleb Bartram, boys? He has the pre-wrapped head as well. So no,
pre-wrapped head.
He's got the pre-wrapped head. He's down there on the boundary.
Yeah, he's gone for Joel Selwood already.
I think there were 7 stitches after last Sunday's errant elbow that he copped.
Oh, yes.
Obviously got it padded and taped already.
Repping the Ben McAvoy style.
That's it. Dan, we might get you to flick the watch over too, Dan, if you can. We'll get a clock started here. Beautiful. First term is brought to you by Elders Rural. And we're not far off a start here for the prelim. What a beauty, Scooter. Strap yourself in.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody here at the ground might be either watching or listening to the live stream. The crowd is big and building still. The flags on the Duns Twin City cranes over there are probably favouring the Lockhart's Road gap end. Lockhart's gap end. I don't think it's going to be anything too particular. We have 1 or 2 goals really.
Here we go. Leach and Minor, Lockhorns in the middle. And we're underway in the prelim. McIntosh gets brought down in a strong tackle straight away, and the umpire is going to call for it. What a great tussle it'll be. Let's have a look. The Swannies and the Ruse. And Meyer with a big knock away. And Brooks ends up with it. A lot of players around the ball. And there's been a free kick given over the shoulder. And it's going the way of Jones. And he spits it out wide to Gray. They've got it on centre wing. Then back to Hibberson. Here goes Brad. He's about to unload here and send it inside 50. Lingham at the front. Got hands to it, put it to ground. Vandermeer swings around on the left foot. Swans going forward. Kyle Cooper got hands to it, put it down. McMillan is back there. McInnes, in fact, it is, and the ball's gone across the chalk, and we'll have a boundary throw in a stoppage in the back pocket at the Gap Road end.
See how active Gussie Lingham wanted to be there. Got in front, got to the footy first, and that's what we'll expect all day from him.
Boys, down forward for Yak. The matchups that we
Jones on the boot, Scooter. It's just gone up and down, and Logan Martin takes the mark.
All good. Ben Mason's gone to Nick Donaghy, and Finn Lappin's gone to Bailey Dale.
So this is Logan Martin for the Ruse. And he gets sort of a low driving kick. Here's McBurney swinging around, gets it into Griska. Back into the team. Great to see him back. On to Lee Dale. As Dan said, a little quiet last week. Kicks it down the line. He'll be looking for a good start. Lawson just got a knock to it. And then Lawson went over the top of it again. Gray tried to spit it out the side for the Swans. Lee Dale, Vandermeer, intercepts, kicks it down the line. This ball looks like it will find the chalk, and it does. Left to centre wing on the far side, Dan Vaccaro.
Yeah, really positive start for Chiltern, the first clearance of the day, and Jaden Vandermeer, 2 early touches on the Mac Jack Shed stat sheet, boys.
Almost 2 gone on the Jappo Donks time clock. Opening turn brought to you by Elders. On a day where we're expecting 13 degrees, sun breaking through again. Here go the Swans. Forward through Hemming. A high ball. Danger one for the Ruse defence. Over the back is Houston. Free kick given. And it's going the way of Boxall. So Swans will get a shot here to the Gap Road end, Scooter.
I don't know what it was for.
Yeah, I think he's played a little bit too high, Scooter. I think it was just an errant, a hand went over the shoulder. So Boxall to get the first shot on goal here. And, yeah, should be able to put this one through straight in front.
Yeah, and Ash Van Claveren coming to the bench here. Got Claret coming from his face. Replaced by Pratt. In the meantime, here's Caleb Boxall to get the Swannies off to a great start in the prelim finals. He pushed it. Yes, he has. And it's gone through for 1 behind on the Commercial Club scoreboard. We've gone about 3 minutes on the Jappo Donks time clock. Here's Scott Montgomery for Albury Wodonga MG.
See the way that Chiltern were able to move the footy there. Got the free kick through the middle of the ground. And then inside 50, Caleb Boxall got the free kick again to have that shot on goal.
Swans through McIntosh. Out of defence. Good mark from Meyer. Here he is, the big man, former Barton medalist, and then sends it in. Good mark taken by Petrala. So low ball, not the best from Meyer. He'd be disappointed with that. And Ethan comes out wide, looking for Huey. Jarrett gets him. So that was clean. Huey wanting to angle back to centre wing. This is Bailey Dale for the Ruse. Now what have they got forward here? Here's Donaghy at the back. Oh, well done. Going back with the fly, it was Gray. Ball out of bounds, just right of our broadcast spot.
Yeah, really positive start for Chiltern again. So 3 inside 50s already, and they've got the 2 free kicks. Vandermeer started really well as well. So Yak really need to get it in and put some pressure on early.
Scooter Fraser for the Charcoal Kings. Dan Vaccaro on the Mac Jack stats. Scott Montgomery and Luke Francis for Albury Wodonga MG on the TDFL live stream. And McBurney will hand this ball back to the umpire. And again, we'll have another ball up. Hush over the crowd here at the moment, Scooter. Yeah, pretty quiet.
And great ball movement by Yak there before with Petrala to Jarrett to the contest there. Hopefully they'll get an inside 50.
Kyle Cooper, the bottom, McBurney. And then brought across the chalk by Hemming. Just in front of the interchange gates here. Yeah, what a day it is, hey? The O&M this afternoon at Martin Park, Wodonga. The Pigeons will take on the Albury Tigers in their second semi-final. And in the Hume League at Wulbundra, it's Osborne taking on Holbrook in the qualifying final. Just great footy being played everywhere. And tied up here again. We'll have another stoppage.
A lot of stoppages early, boys. Obviously the footy, it's nice and hot. Both teams really coming up and out of line to try and stop the footy and the flow from both sides.
Coming down to Garland. He's wrapped up heavily by the Swannies. And again, the umpire to have it.
Very similar start to last week as well, so Chiltern just trying to really choke Yak and get repeat entries.
That's right, Dan. Both teams settling in. Here's Stevens. Left foot, Petrala. Nice spot, takes it. He wants to move it on quickly. Left foot into the middle. Now he's got Maslin there, put it down. Jones has got to go. Well done from Lawson coming from the opposite direction. Ball at the bottom of the pack here, stacks on. Man in green has it. So we've got one score on the scoreboard, and that is to Chilton. 1 point on the Commercial Club scoreboard. Japo Donk's time clock has gone 5.5. Kyle Cooper brought for the deck. You guessed it. Another stoppage, Dan.
It is, and it's very similar sort of stakes to last week with Chilton just trying to choke him up, but been going 5.5 minutes now with 3 inside 50s for Chilton, so they are peppering the inside 50s. Yak got to respond here.
Petrala, gee, started the game well. It's been busy. Here's James O'Connell coming towards the ball. Huey Jarrett came from the opposite direction. Get out of his road. He is just a bull. Maslin, hurriedly on the boot for the Ruse. Getting back, Pratt takes the mark. Then on to Lappin. Misses Brooks with the kick. Kyle Cooper mops up. Takes it, rode the bomb. And then got it out to Hemming. Nice footy. Lawson comes in for the Ruse, off to Huey Jarrett. Now what can they get out of this? Oh, wild kick trying to find Donna. He wasn't the best. That's gone through for one behind also. It's all tied up on the scoreboard, one behind each Commercial Club. And the opening turn is brought to you by Elders Rural.
James O'Connell coming to the bench with blood pouring from his head with a clash there with Nick Stevens.
Scooter Fraser for the Charcoal Kings. Here's Jones. Handball's out. Garside searching for it at ground level, fumbles. Donaghy picks it up for the Ruse, got swung off and dropped it. So they've had to work hard back there, the Swans defence, and they hold up, Scotty.
They do. They've been really good, haven't they? They've been able to defend it, get them wide, and haven't been hurt on the scoreboard yet.
Out of bounds here, just left of our broadcast spot. Lee Dale seeing the ball out across the chalk.
Yep, slowly starting to get the game back on their terms. Yak and Dana with that inside 50. Got to get it in the vicinity of Nick Donaghy. He's their most dangerous forward. Got to see how clean he is up forward.
Yeah, so the game over 7 minutes old. Still no goal on our scoreboard. Now, what's happened here?
Yeah, ball come back here. Free kick to Mitch Hemming. Hibbo tried to play on quickly, but the umpire called it back. No advantage.
Hemming delivers wide here. Swans have it. Now Vandermeer swings around, gets a low entry into the gap road end. Doolan a little bit low for him. Going back is Boxall. Went off the ground. Lingham. Here he comes, Angus. He's had a super final series, but that one, just on cue, has gone out of bounds in front of Casey George. Scooter Fraser.
He's usually a very measured kick, Gus, but it was about a metre out, unfortunately.
Swans, Brooks, Cooper Stevens. Over. Down it comes. Ground level. Left foot gone through for another behind.
Yeah, you've got their DNA all over the contest early here, Chilton. 5 inside 50s. Jaden Vandermeer's been really good. He's up to 4 touches on the Mac Jack Shed stat sheet. Mitch Hemming and Finn Lappin getting their hands on the footy early.
McIntosh to Griska. Inside D50. Back to McIntosh. He wants to come broadcast side with a lateral kick to Logan Martin. So what will they build from here, the Ruse? Looking for Casey George into the team this week. And then Bailey Dale comes across and knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, played really well last week. Casey George for the twos. Probably had something to prove last week after getting dropped after playing majority of the year, but he's back in today, which is great to see.
Game almost 9 minutes old thanks to Japo Donks. Still no goal in the prelim final. Vandermeer, McIntosh, great tussle for the footy. Ball out of bounds again.
I think this might be what we might see for most of the day until it opens up. When both teams start to get a bit tired and fatigued in the second quarter, might be when we see this game open up a little bit.
Meyer and Marshall are in the ruck. Goes to half forward. Maslin over it. Ritchie, well done. Out to Hibberson. Sends it inside 50. Doolan, great hands. Good mark. We'll put that down as a contender. Oh, for the great outdoors mark of the day, Scott Montgomery.
Probably the first time either end of the ground there've been space in front of the forwards and the kick's been able to sit out in front like that one. What a kick from Brad Hibberson. Just sat it, didn't have to break stride, Dawes, and a really good set of hands. We know that's one of his strengths, his contested marking, and we'll see plenty of that today, I think.
Okay, so we're ticking up to the 10-minute mark. This will be the first major of the prelim final. Can Mark Doolan do it? This one looks like it's gone left as well. It has. So that's one behind. So we're still without a goal here. 3 plays 1 on the Commercial Club scoreboard.
Yeah, it's been a really stop and start sort of first half of this quarter, going 10 minutes now and still no score. Yak dominating the inside 50 count, so 6 inside 50s and the mark inside 50 as well. On the back of Jaden Vandermeer as well. He's had the 4 disposals on the Mac Jack Shed stat sheet.
Yeah, so both teams just feeling each other out at the moment, Scooter Fraser.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, that delivery into the forward side just going to give those shots at goal. And obviously, Doolan wouldn't be happy with missing that one. But, yep, if they can get that delivery into and kick straight, the game might open up a little bit more and we'll have a few less stoppages.
Just on cue there.
Yeah, so a boundary throw in back pocket, far side, gap road end. Over the top, Marshall. Hibberson, Brad, will this be a goal?
Yep.
He's nailed it. That is an absolute ripper. A Union Hotel goal of the day to Brad Hibberson. And that'll spark the game, Scott Montgomery.
Absolutely. What a tap there, just out in front where the space was, and Hibbo just read it beautifully. Brad Hibberson, the inspirational coach for Chiltern, just got on it first, and a great finish. We'll send a couple of easier shots than that missed, and he was able to put it straight through the big sticks.
Yeah, as Monty said, a really great finish there by Hibberson, and what a hot start for Chiltern. So 6 inside 50s now, and they just look like the better team. They're winning out of the middle, and they're being able to hold it into the 50. So Yak have to respond earlier than what they did last week here.
Yeah, well, 11 minutes to get the first goal on the board. Hopefully we can see a few more in the next few minutes.
Yeah, amazing kick from Brad Hibberson. Here we go, McLean. So the Swans out of the middle again, and they send it forward, bouncing ball inside 50. Then turning around Boxall. Now he spotted something he likes out wide. He was looking for Vandermeer. Griska's after him, and it's going to go out in that pocket again.
Geez, from there I thought Boxall might have just swung around and had a shot. I thought that was right within his range, and I'll tell you what, no one would have had a go at him if he had a shot from there, because he probably went to the lower percentage play trying to hit someone on the fly inside 50.
Scott Fraser, Dan Vaccaro, Scott Montgomery and Luke Francis here, and Sandy Creek Reserve. Whistle.
Pinging.
One umpire said play on, and the other one gave a free kick for court.
So McGee with the ball.
6 inside 50s to 0 in favour of Chiltern so far.
6-zip. Well, that's interesting. I thought it came out here once, didn't
Oh,
it?
sorry,
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
We'll go with 1.
On the Mac Jack stat sheet, Dan Vaccaro. Here goes McGee. So Kyle to try and put their second on the board. Opening term here. A big man. He's got onto it, and that one's gone right through for one behind. So 10 plays 1 now on the Commercial Club scoreboard. Japo Dong's time clock has gone close to 13 minutes.
Just got to be careful here, Chiltern. They've got the run on, they've got all the play, but they are kicking poorly, so 1 goal 4 now. You don't want to spiral out of control before Yak have a little comeback in either this quarter or the start of the second.
Yeah, neither team succeeded out into it. So 1 goal to the Swans through Hibberson. Crowd yet to get up and about. Jones thought he lost that. Vandermeer goes with the Nana. What kind of kick is that? From 2 from that pocket. 1 to Brad Hibberson, 1 to Jaden Vandermeer, and they have been absolute gems. Another Union goal of the day. Scott Montgomery.
Yeah, how good was that? What a finish. Jaden Vandermeer showed his class from that pocket on the outside of the boot, if you don't mind. Never looked like missing.
Yeah, he's really lighting up the Mac Jack Shed stat sheet at the moment too, boys. He's 5 disposals and 1 goal, and something about that pocket. There's been 2 kicks from Hibberson and him right in front of the Chiltern Folklore. So, yeah, fantastic finish there.
Generally called the impossible pocket here
There you go.
for this oval, but Chiltern don't need a shot from right in front when they can kick goals like that.
There you go, Scooter. 2 from the impossible pocket. Brooks. And then Jones got it out to Pratt. Tumbling ball to centre wing on the far side. Here's McMillan. And McMillan swings it around on his left foot. Now Huey Jarrett has it. What can the Ruse work forward from here? He takes on the man on the mark and sends it up with a high ball. Let's look who's under it. Oh, Marshall went up, got hands to it, put it to deck on. He can't keep it in control. Ball's gone out of bounds at the Pony Club end, far side, back pocket.
Yeah, just their second inside 50 now, Yak and Dander, so hopefully they can lock it in and build some forward pressure and gain some territory.
And Jimmy O'Connell's back out there, boys. Got the head wrapped up, so I'm sure he'll be putting his head in the wrong spot again today.
So a great opportunity here for the Ruse to get there first. Inside 50 at the attacking end. Jones was fighting away. Goes again, Jones. Maslin. And then Lawson. And the umpire's going to take it.
Yeah, 15 minutes here on the time clock gone, and it's 0-1-1 into 2-4-16 in favour of Chiltern.
Marshall got a hand to it. On the deck, Kyle Cooper gets brought down. So almost gone 15.5 on the Japodonks time clock. Dan?
Yeah, 15.5 minutes gone now. And Kyle Cooper, that's another one that needs to get going. He's only touched the ball once this quarter, but Jaden Vandermeer is dominating. 5 disposals under goal.
McInnes, left foot. Brooks. And then Petrala there also. Very close, and that one through for one behind. So 16 plays 2 on the Commercial Club scoreboard.
The most important thing for Yakandana to do now is lock the ball in. Don't let him get it out, and don't let him get it run on the other side.
That was a great punch by Finn Lappin to keep it back in play, because it was either going to be a goal or a mark to Bailey Dale.
Yeah, you're right about that. Ash Van Claveren hits Gray, plays on quickly to Pratt. And Pratt, with a long ball up towards centre wing, Griska, nice in a one-on-one versus Vandermeer. Spat out the side, McGee, Marshall. And then coming away with it was Lawson. Left foot, wants to swing it back to the half-forward flank. Pratt sits back there. He's been good, Pratt, since he's come on. Moves it across to Hibberson. Brad spits it out the back to Mason, and then Mason on that left foot. Nice to Bertram. So that's good footy from the Swans. And what have they got here? Wants to angle back. McLean, good effort. Diving mark. Mitch, a little hesitant. He wanted to take on Lawson and got the handball back into Meyer to Lappin, who's under pressure. Donaghy might have him. So they're bugging around with this, the Swans. Too many handballs, and they got caught.
Yeah,
that's
a
great series of tackles there by Yak. That was really good pressure. Three contests in a row. They just put the arms around the player.
Exactly what you want from your big forward too. If he's not getting the ball up the ground so much in the opening minutes, he can get up the ground and apply that sort of pressure. Is fantastic by Nick Donaghy.
McGee in front of Garland, and he breaks away, McGee. Then the kick was a floater going forward. Doolan came out. Here's Ritchie. Has a chance. Garland brings him to deck. Umpire says you're gone.
You've got to make an effort when you go to ground like that. You've got to make sure that you're at least trying to make it look like you're trying to get the ball out, because he definitely didn't then.
So we're going 17.5 on the Japodonks time clock. Yak still without a goal in the opening term of the prelim final for 2023. Chiltern with 2 on the board. 16 plays 2 thanks to the Commercial Club. Opening term brought to you by Elders Rural. And a free kick here going to the Swans and Mitch McLean.
Yeah, found a push in the back there against Jimmy O'Connell. I think just a little bit sloppy there. Just went with the momentum of the player going forward.
And McLean goes with that left foot, searching for Doolan. Over the back is Lingham to Griska. Doolan went at him. Griska did well to get out of it. Turns it over to Hemming. Mitch fires one in, a high ball looking for Scott Meyer. Got hands to it, then went to the deck. High tackle, I thought. Umpire didn't call it.
I'm with you, Lukey.
Yeah, it must have been so close, Scotty.
Yeah, just a little bit high, but it must have been across the chest.
Meyer grabs it out of the ruck. Ball goes to deck. Bertram. Oh, beautiful smother from Lee Dale. Here's Hibberson. And burning through was McLean. Lawson out the back to O'Connell. Well done by McLean again. He's been fantastic in the opening turn. Hemming out of midair. And it's ended up with Logan Martin. And that was accidental. So the ball should come back to Logan. How are we going, Dan, on that MacJack stats sheet?
Yeah, Chiltern at the moment are still dominating 10 inside 50s to Yak and Dander's 4. So still winning that territory battle. Yak got to find a way to get up the other end and keep it in there.
Winning that territory battle by so much, but Chiltern would like a few more goals on the board by quarter time, because if they don't get it and Yak get going, who knows what could happen.
Jay Cooper got flattened, I thought, after he took the mark. And Swans just having a word to Huey Jarrett. Now Lee Dale and Pratt, this might escalate a little here, boys.
Yeah, I think that's what something probably Yak needed, just to get a bit of a battle in it. Huey Jarrett just try to get it going. So
50 metres, boys.
Yeah. Yep, so there you go.
The Yak boys have been a bit flat, so Huey Jarrett's trying to do the right thing there, trying to get his team going, but it's probably going to cost them a goal.
Yeah, you're going to almost sacrifice a 50-metre penalty, show a bit of fight early on in this quarter, so Lee Dale getting involved there, trying to fly the flag for Yak and Dander.
Yeah, so Jake Cooper just getting fouled after he took the mark there by Huey Jarrett. There's been a 50 given. So Jake with a great opportunity here to put the Swannies third on the board. He needs to nail this just to give them a bit of breathing space. Here he goes, Jake. Very deliberate approach. Gap road in, and he shifts it right. Yeah, okay.
Well, Monty nailed it just before. They're starting to waste their opportunity. So 2 goals, 5 now, Chiltern. And Yak are going to have their moment, whether it's the next quarter or the end of the next quarter. But really costly opportunities going begging here for Chiltern.
Scotty Montgomery, finals shots in finals from 30 out. They can come back to haunt you, can't they?
Yeah, they definitely can. I know when I was involved at Dedarang, we were 2 goals, 7 in the prelim and got rolled. Should have been 7, 8 goals up at quarter time and the game would have been over. But that's something Chiltern could have done, but they haven't been able to do it yet. So Yak just need to hold in there at the moment.
Yeah, we saw it on Thursday night and last night in the AFL, didn't we? Here we go. Kyle Cooper at ground level. The trailer over the top of him. Umpire's going to have it. It's coming overcast again here. Scooter, it's quite cool here, isn't it, at Sandy Creek?
It's dropped a bit, but it's probably hot out in the middle of the field for the boys. The third turnover of coming out of defence for Yak. That's been the costly one for them.
McIntosh, one of the Ruse stars, sends it up to the half-back flank. Gray sees it out in front of Garland. We'll have another boundary throw in.
Yeah, Ben McIntosh doing a lot of work behind the ball. Ideally, when Yakandana are up and running, they want him in that engine room and driving it forward and using his great ball skills to get it forward. But at the moment, he's had to be a drop out down in defence because of the struggling at the moment. Yak.
Opening term again brought to you by Elders Rural. We've gone 21.5 on the Jappo Donks time clock. Good smother by Dale. We might go around the grounds very quickly, Dan. Pigeons taking on the Albury Tigers in the second semi-final, and in the Hume League at Walbundra, it's Osmond taking on Holbrook in the qualifying final. We'll grab that shortly. Back into play here. Leach. Here's Lee Dale. Left foot hurriedly bouncing ball to the half-forward flank. Donaghy Mason had him wrapped up very quickly. And the umpire's about to take it.
And just quickly around the ground, boys, in the O&M in the second semi-final, 2 goals 5, Yarrawonga 17 to 1 goals 3, 9. So an 8-point lead there early in the first quarter to Yarrawonga.
Very good. McLean out to Gray. High hand pass. McGee got a fist to it. And goes forward for the Swannies. Rushed up towards the arc of the 50. Bouncing ball. Gaps road in. Lingham. Geez, a good player. To Casey George. To Maslin. To work this nicely. Ruse. Just to head back towards the centre. And Casey George with possession into the middle. The kick was good. Bailey Dale got hands to it. Couldn't hold on. O'Connell off to Petrala. Long one to the half-forward flank. Let's have a look down there. Gray has to go. He's done some good things in this opening term in front of Marshall. He wanted the line there. What's the umpire going to say? Throw in. Throw in.
As you said, Lukey, Jack Gray's been fantastic at half-back, just as has Ethan Petrala. I think he's nearly been the best on the ground for Yakandana so far.
Yeah, and I really love the way that Yakandana are trying to still play that real aggressive type of footy and go back into the middle, because that's going to pay dividends at some point in this game.
It's got to click at some stage, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Dan, we might get a Hume League score. We got one of those.
Yeah, Osmond Seniors 2-1-13 to Holbrook Seniors, no score.
Yeah.
Ooh, Robbie will be shattered at the moment.
Big news for my fellow Saints supporters. GWS star Stephen Canelio is out.
He's
of the
out.
game with an eye injury.
That is massive.
How did he get poked in the eye in a playground before a game?
Cornelia, is that fair dinkum?
It is.
Well, that'd be huge news.
St Kilda staff members just wandered into the game.
Hero,
Had the laser pointer out
Give
on
him
the
the
plane
captain
or something.
Insano from Waterboy. Just
Well, that'd be big. So Scooter Fraser with the Charcoal Kings all over it here at Sandy Creek Reserve, and also giving you some information ahead of the elim between the Saints and the Giants. Stephen Cornelio out. Now back here at Sandy Creek, there's Lawson, Lappin, fighting away for it. What are you two laughing at back there?
Oh, the Captain Insano call.
captain Insano call. That was my best call of the year, I reckon.
McBurney, Bertram got up high. Huey Jarrett. Bertram knocked it out trying to find Kyle Cooper. And they worked well there, the Swans. Good shepherd from Pratt. Cooper to Lappin. He wants to come back out this way to Pratt. Now Brooks is on. Gets him. Okay, now this game's starting to open up. This is what we want. A nice kick. Heading back towards the centre square. He finds Jake Cooper. Now here's Hibberson. Brad, the coach of the Swannies, and then goes inside 50. Oh, good delivery from Meyer. That's the best footy we've seen all day, Scott Montgomery, for Albury Wodonga MG.
Absolutely, and Scotty Meyer got reward for it there. He let up at the footy coming up this side, the near side of the ground, worked back to the goal square as the ball started to get switched, and then fired back up towards Brad Hibberson, and it was a great kick. A little bit low for the big fella. I'm sure he'd like it in his eyes a little bit more, but he was able to get underneath it and take the mark.
That'll be Hibbo's third inside 50, and two of them have actually hit the target.
Yep.
Just how else would you like it delivered other than a little bit higher for Meyer then?
Scott Meyer has to finish off the Swans' work. When I say that, it was a difficult kick from a long way out. And this ball's ended up hitting the behind post, who have a boundary throw in.
He's looked dangerous, Scotty Meyer, when he's gone forward. I feel that they've gone to him a little bit because they've been a little bit one-dimensional when he's not down there going to Mark Dawn a few too many times, and it becomes a little bit too predictable.
Throw in, back pocket, gap road in, near side. And the umpire's going to call for it again. Here, another stoppage.
The positive thing about this contest is it has really opened up. We noticed that play there, obviously, but even Yak coming up the other end had some opportunity to go forward with space.
Meyer grabbed it and then put it on the boot. Hemming, Mitch, high ball. Is that coming back? No. Left side of the post, one behind. 18 plays 2 now on the Commercial Club scoreboard. First turn for Elders Rural. Japo Dong's time clock has gone over 26 as Lingham comes from the back pocket to O'Connell. And there is a sign to bring the first break into the Sandy Creek Reserve on prelim final day. It is the Chiltern Swans leading at quarter time. 2-6-18 to the Yakandana Ruse. Two behinds. Scott Fraser, Dan Vaccaro, Scott Montgomery and Luke Francis with you. We'll get to a break, returning very shortly on the TDFL live stream.
We'll help you get the job done. We'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes. For your semis, riggers, spotters, cranes. Safety is our second name. You're looking pretty with Dunn's Twin City. No job's out of reach. Rig it, lift it, move it, shift it. No fuss, talk to us. We'll help you get the job done. We'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes.
CADMAC want your machinery to keep working as hard as you do. So, as you're gearing up for the busy season, now is the time to stock up on your machinery oil and net wrap. For a limited time, get a free cap when you buy 20 litres of any New Holland oil. Or get a free jacket with every pallet of New Holland net wrap or bale twine. These offers are only available at CADMAC and while stocks last. CADMAC, helping you grow for life. T's and C's apply.
Finer Embroidery is in the fabric of our community. Any logo on anything so your business can proudly present themselves well. Embroidery that adds that personal touch that doesn't break the bank. Join the Finer Embroidery community today. Proudly supporting the TDFL.
Need a computer that won't crash? Need your Wi-Fi turbocharged? Need better data backup? Whatever you need your computer to do, Wangaratta Computers will help you do it better. Because that's what we do best. wangarattacomputers.com.au.
Write it, space it, and erase it.
Finer Embroidery is in the fabric of our community. Any logo on anything so your business can proudly present themselves well. Embroidery that adds that personal touch that doesn't break the bank. Join the Finer Embroidery community today. Proudly supporting the TDFL.
We'll help you get the job done, we'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes. For your semis, riggers, spotters, cranes. Safety is our second name. You're looking pretty with Dunn's Twin City. No job's out of reach. Rig it, lift it, move it, shift it. No fuss, talk to us. We'll help you get the job done, we'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes.
For a little extra longer there, Scotty, too. The break.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? It must have been Darren Holmes just making sure he drives his message home and they know what's going on.
Absolutely. Dan, let's have a look at the quarter's best for BUR.
Yeah, absolutely. The quarter's best for mine. For Yak and Danda, Ben McIntosh got a lot of the footy that quarter, but I thought Yui Jarrett going forward provided the most positive outcome for Yak and Danda, and they looked the most deadly. Jaden Vandermeer for mine's probably been almost best on ground. He's had 5 disposals and he's kicked a really good goal. But their inside 50 count's starting to get concerning for Yak, so 15-4 at the moment, so 11 more inside 50s. But just unfortunately haven't converted the way they would have liked, so Yak and Danda are going to have their place in this game soon, but it's just whether they can get the run on and start scoring.
Very good. So the quarter's best, thanks to Brian Unthank Real Estate and Dan Vaccaro on the Mac Jack stats all day for us here. We're just waiting for Scooter Fraser to come back from ground level.
And just quickly,
I think he might have given a couple of comments to Homer just to make sure he gets the boys going. I reckon Scooter's got that
ready.
sort of pull. So
that's it. Scooter, here he comes. What have you got for us, Scooter? Thanks to the Charcoal Kings. Could you get much news from down there, mate? Could you hear? Could you get to the huddles?
No, certainly. Brad Hibberson for Chiltern, just very, very, vocal about the wasted opportunities. He said, look up at the flags. We had the breeze, we had the shots. We should be in front by more. And on the other hand, Darren Holmes was very, very much about those. And as I said later in the quarter, how they were coming out of the back line. So I just need to fix that, use the breeze, and they can get a couple of goals.
Second term is for NZ Albury. Here we go. Garland. And a big one. Out of the middle for the Ruse. Lawson off to O'Connell. And O'Connell swings around. McBurney goes back. Second time, Brooks is there. And then the umpire will call this because that one is tied up. 18 plays too.
Bit calmer than last week, Scooter Fraser, Holmesy?
Well, we'll see what happens at half time.
Yeah, he nearly blew us out of the commentary box last week at half time.
Earthquake.
Oh, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's it. O'Connell. Lee Dale's over it. Got pushed off it. Free kick here. Stevens is going to take it for the Swans. They're in D50. Gap road end. He goes short to Lappin. Great defensive player, this guy.
Fourth disposal for Lappin. So been a bit quiet for his standards, but hasn't seen a lot of it in that first quarter.
To Mason. Handballs off to the running Pratt. Short one to Hibberson. Just inside the square. Back to Stevens. Doolan. Oh, great mark. And then, did the umpire pay that? It's gone forward anyway.
I don't know how he said he dropped it, but Doolan certainly took the mark and brought it to the ground.
And Lockie McMillan just come from the ground, boys. Looks very sore and maybe even a little bit dazed, but we'll just keep an eye on that one.
Doolan, Hurley on the boot. And then McInnes and Petrala, then a race for it. McInnes just keeps tapping along the ground. Then gets it on the boot, and that's gone out of bounds on the full in the end. He did so well up until that point.
He did, and I think the one thing that Yak and Danda have to fix as soon as possible is they're letting Chiltern the ability to wander it up the ground so quickly. So the forward pressure from Yak and Danda has got to be better when they do get it in the 50, Lukey.
He goes Hemming. Lingham over the top, straight to Kyle Cooper. Bounces it through for a goal. They get their third. 24 plays two. On the Inspirations Paint scoreboard, first term brought to you by, or second term I should say, NZ Albury, and Jeppo Donk's time clock has gone over 2 minutes.
It has, and it's a disappointing start for Yakandenda. They got that first sort of purchase out in the middle, and they were able to drive it forward, and you got the feeling that wind was going to help them and lock the ball in that forward line, but then Yakandenda, they're able to transition so freely there, and didn't get it from the first initial 50, but then came back out and then back in so quickly. So Yakandenda have to tighten up a lot in that defensive forward role.
Yeah, so don't they need a goal, the Ruse?
Yeah, and,
desperately.
And you said before Finn Lappin didn't have a lot of possessions. The thing is, Nick Donaghy hasn't had a lot. That's his job. So whether Lappin gets a lot of kicks or not doesn't matter as long as he's keeping Donaghy goalless.
There goes Stevens again, inside 50, bouncing ball. Kyle Cooper, this might be a repeat performance. He's going back with it, dodges around. There's another one. His second. In about 25 to 30 seconds, I reckon, and the Swans are hot at the moment, and the Ruse, if they don't get the next one, they might be in a bit of trouble here. Scott Montgomery?
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle Cooper showing his class to start this second quarter. The first one is exactly what you want your small forwards doing, front and square to the big fellas. Read it beautifully, and then that one was the first one back to a ball that just fell in a hole, and he was just a little bit too quick, sidestepped around the defender from Yakandana and put it through again. So 2 within 30 seconds. Absolutely class, Kyle Cooper.
Yep, and the one thing in footy that is the hardest thing to defend is getting it in fast, Scotty, and that's exactly what Chiltern have done on 2 occasions, and no defence can stop that. When you get it in that fast and accurate, they're in trouble.
Yeah, Union Hotel, goal of the day there to Kyle Cooper. McBurney, Hibberson. Rightio, who's going to stand up for the Ruse? Who's going to take this second quarter by the scruff of the neck?
Connor Marshall's been moved into the ruck and certainly going up against Meyer pretty well.
McBurney, high ball, Brooks got a fist to it. Burning through Garland, right foot wasn't the best. In front of Donaghy though, so we'll get a crack at it. Mason rides him and then he's set holding without it. So Nick Donaghy, he's about 60 from home here.
Has to find a target here. He can't just blaze away, and needs to find a short.
And he's tried to do that.
Oh, he's
and
done
it was beautiful to Leach.
What a kick.
And Scott Montgomery has absolutely nailed that for Albury Wodonga MG.
Yeah, how good was that? You saw the hole, and Leachy was running back towards the square and got Scotty May a little bit off the wrong foot and was able to come back at the footy, and it was a beautiful kick from Nick Donaghy. As we spoke about, it hasn't done a lot, but if he can keep finding targets inside 50 like that, that's all he needs to do for the game.
I reckon he must have hurt you, Scotty. Nick Donaghy then. And then Leach. No.
That really hurts for Yakandana. Such good play, the best play they've had all day, with Nick Donaghy getting involved in that mark inside 50, which was their first mark of the day as well, inside 50, and a disappointing to miss that goal.
Yeah, 5 gone. Chapo Donk's time clock second term. Ruse still without a goal in this prelim final. Hard to believe, really.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Luke. It is hard to believe. The way we've seen them score this year, Yakandana, to do this sort of stuff is just unnatural for them.
Lappin, O'Connell, Petrala have him. Oh, gee, tight on that one. That was hot. And the umpire has pinged him.
Scooter, Jimmy O'Connell, distance, what do you think? I think he might be a little bit outside his range.
Yeah, I think this is his absolute plus size. If he gains at left goal post, the wind could do a little bit of work for him, but yeah, very much on his distance. Wouldn't be surprised if he does pass it off or kicks it to the square.
Can James do it? No, that's not going to make the distance, that one. That one's going to... He knocked through, is it? Or has that gone out of bounds?
Nah,
it's gone through for behind. Yep. So 30 plays 4 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Second term brought to you by NZ Albury.
Most important thing here is Yakandana need to lock up and shut up shop and keep the ball in their 50, but they're letting it out too easy here.
In the back, or... Yeah.
Yeah, Vandermeer just going a little early there.
He should have just used his body a little bit instead of getting the hands in the back there. Would have been a little bit smarter.
Lee Dale. And then pops it up to the edge of the 50. Donaghy got hands to it. Lappin. She's playing a good game. Pratt hacked it out. Bailey Dale sitting back there waiting for the Ruse. It's a wide entry looking for Huey Jarrett. Bouncing ball. Williams, nice pickup. It's a handball back to Huey. Takes them on. Brooks had him brought down. Well done, Ashton Brooks.
Do you see the way Chilton's exited the last couple of times from the defensive 50? Yacker a lot better set up across the middle of the ground and being able to engage turnovers very quickly.
Yeah, and the most important thing for Yakandana as well, 5 inside 50s to 3. So they're trying to cant the ball in that centre half of the ground, but they've just got to start putting some scoreboard pressure
They need the reward like Chilton did in the first quarter, don't they?
Gee, that was a great mark from Ash Van Claveren. He had to go to Pratt. Now, that's an adventurous kick, that one. Trying to find Mason, missed him. Brooks, he'll have to hold this in. Did he cop one? Yes, he did. So Ashton's been good in the last 60 seconds or so.
See the way he's just gone back slow. Scotty Mayo telling him to slow it down. They can feel that the momentum's with Yakandanda at the moment. They just need to maintain it.
Yeah, 26-point lead to the Swannies. Second term. Pratt. Oh, good hands, McGee. Logan Martin. Put him under high pressure. Here's Stevens. Coming back towards the middle. Misses Hibberson. James O'Connell got a double fister. Maslin. Ash Van Claveren over the top of him. Gets him around the shoulder.
Bit sloppy there from Ash. Needed to be a lot better than that. He's coming a little bit too hot, and the head was over the footy.
Ben McIntosh sends it in for the Ruse. Gap road in over the back. No good, Mark. Pratt again.
It's been fantastic today, John Pratt. What a guy you can pull in with a late out with this sort of class and this sort of experience in a big game like this.
Been in the country for 12 hours, Mont?
Something like that, yes. I think that was the rumour getting around.
He might be a different player in the fourth quarter.
What country was he in? Do we know? Not sure.
Not Australia.
Yeah, okay. He was overseas. McLean. Here goes Mitch.
Oh.
He sends it to Brooks. He's playing a good quarter, Ashton. And then son of Chiltern Club legend Luke Brooks turned over to Lawson. Lee Dale take Brooks on, or took him on. Lawson. Maslin. He's gone here. Yep. Jake Cooper all over it, and he'll get the kick. So he's responded well after he went down heavily.
Been going 9 minutes just about, boys, and 9 free kicks have been paid. So they're hot in the whistle, the umpires, this quarter.
Is that right?
Yep.
Good stat, Dan. Well done. Lawson plays on to Jimmy. Has a bounce. Low kick. Bouncing inside 50. McMillan. McMillan again. Still with McMillan. Out the back to Maslin. Right foot around the corner. You guessed it. Another behind. Yaka got 5 behinds on the board. We've gone 9 minutes in the second turn. Thanks to Japo Donks.
Yep. Very much the tables.
Still no goal for the Ruse.
Very much the tables have turned with all the play here now. Yakandanda are really camping the ball in that 50 for 7 inside 50s to Chilton's 3. So lucky to get a couple of goals out of the middle Chilton. But they've really got to lock it in and get some scoreboard reward here, Yakandanda.
Ash Van Claveren trying to find Hibberson in the middle. Marshall got a fist to it. Ends up with Lee Dale. Tries to find Maslin. He went to deck. Brooks, and here comes Jimmy Lawson. Maslin again. Got hands to it. Lee Dale to Lawson. Low ball. Bouncing Donaghy. Ends up with Zach Leach. Tries to spit one out the side. Lappin. And then he just missed Cooper with the handball. And the ball has gone to the deck, Dan.
He has been huge, Lee Dale, this quarter. 5 disposals already, and he's really driving Yakandanda, and he's been the one that stepped up this quarter for sure.
Might get and around the grounds again very shortly. O&M and Hume League today. 2 super games being played there. Here's Garland, Boxall. And then Kyle Cooper swings around. He wants to come broadcast side. Now here's Bertram. Now he's got some time and space. Let's have a look. There's one bounce from him. He goes for a second. Griska's after him. Swings it in. Does Bertram a floater? And guess who? That man, Angus Lingham. Geez, played a great final series. Scooter.
Oh, just so measured the way it is after he's just kicked that. He got Lee Dale, but Lee couldn't take the mark.
It was in the back, it was. So Boxall. And a 50. Oh, Scott Montgomery. That's a big blue for the Ruse.
That's a coach killer, isn't it? He was outside 50, would have struggled to get the distance, and a 50-metre penalty makes it all but a certainty for Caleb Boxall here. When they've had all the momentum all quarter, this goal could just break that momentum.
5 goals for the Swans. The Ruse don't have 1. We've gone 11 minutes in the prelim. I'm in disbelief, Dan. It's hard to believe that the Ruse, who played so well in their first final, is in this situation right now in the prelim.
Yeah, look, that's probably a massive dagger in the heart there. I think Scooter would be best to talk about that, but that's super frustrating considering Yak had all to play that quarter, and then to give away a goal like that's disappointing, Scooter.
Yeah, exactly. When you do all that work and get inside 50s and then a free kick in your 50, in your forward 50, and 3 kicks later you give a 50-metre penalty.
Really made it an even playing field as well, Yakandana at that stage, and just had to put scoreboard pressure on and gave away a disappointing one.
Just quickly around the grounds, boys. Osborne had jumped out to a 43-point lead, 7-3-45, leading Holbrook 2 behind, and Yarrawonga out by 13 points in the second quarter there in the O&M.
Better check on Rob Ease, Lukey.
Gee,
Be very quiet at the moment.
that's a massive lead, isn't it, for Osborne?
Has he ever been quiet, Rob Ease?
The same thing happened last year in the second semi out there, Lukey. We
Yeah,
know what
right.
happened in the grand final, so...
Absolutely right. Yeah, massive day at Wulbundry. McBurney, look at him tearing away and then sends it forward here. Lawson with Pratt. Oh, great contest between a Swanee and a Rue. It's been caught over the shoulder.
Yeah, probably there, that one. Just a little bit sloppy again. There's been a few of them today where the blokes just haven't got low enough.
Lawson, low delivery going in to O'Connell. Now, he's getting involved here in the second term.
Definitely outside his range here, this one for Jimmy.
Short to Donaghy, so that's better. Lowering the eye, Scotty, and finding a target inside the arc. Had the gap road in.
Yeah, he's spot on there. Just really measured there from Jimmy O'Connell. An experienced player, played a lot of senior footy around the traps and just went back, knew it was outside his distance, waited for the right lead. And Nick Donaghy is working hard. He probably hasn't had the touches he'd like to have, but he is working very hard.
Yeah, Jimmy O'Connell, a very calming influence at times for this pretty young side for Yak.
Will this be Yak's first? No. Still no goal for the Ruse. So we're going 13.5.
Fourth behind
Japo
for this
Donks
quarter.
time clock.
Luke,
Yep.
Fourth behind. It's
Yep.
just not enough. They've got to make sure they hit the scoreboard at some stage here. Otherwise, Yak keep getting a couple of cheapies down there. Chilton get a couple of cheapies down the other end. It could really blow them apart.
Lappin put himself under a lot of pressure. Pratt's been pivotal back there. Through Lee Dale's hands, out to McGee. Here's Bertram. Swings it back to Kyle Cooper. Shrugs the tackle. And a looping hand pass over the top. That's found the chalk there. Left of centre wing, Dan Vaccaro.
Yeah, so really positive for Yakandana this quarter is the fact that they've been able to camp the ball inside their 50. Just their transition, Chilton, has just been far too good, and Yak aren't applying enough forward pressure for them to get up the other end of the ground too easy.
Yeah, if you just tuned into the TDFL live stream, Brad Hibberson, the opening goal for Chilton. Jaden Vandermeer also with a single, and there was 2 to Kyle
Great
Cooper.
hands.
And then off the boot, McBurney. Yes, Harry. Well done, Harry McBurney. So he gets the Ruse on the board. That's their first major, and they're underway.
Yeah, that's exactly. That might just be the fire starter there, Scooter. Really good finish there by McBurney. They've had all the play this quarter. They've had 10 inside 50s for 1 goal, so they've got to be more efficient. They've got to fight hard to get that ball camped in their forward line, but what a goal there by McBurney.
Yeah, finally seeing some reward for effort. And the run of Harry McBurney, he does that a lot. He's done it quite a few times throughout the year. And if they can get it forward again, if you get the little blokes for Yak up and about and around those contests, then they can certainly hit the scoreboard.
Zach Leach's hands there to get it to McBurney were absolutely first class, and that's what they need more of from the big fella.
Rightio, they're away now, the Ruse. Here we go. Back in the middle, Lee Dale, McLean, Petrala, and then left foot, and then sends it towards centre half forward. Out comes Marshall, finds it on the ground, quick one up to Lawson, that was clever, and out the back to McMillan, and then goes to the short and low one into McBurney. This has got them going. Here goes Harry, inside 50. Oh, over the top was Mason. Petrala picks it up. Donaghy, Mason again, and then pulled down as Pratt. He's wrapped up. Gap road end.
It's amazing what a goal can do as well, and Yak just seem to be fighting that little bit harder and really, really fighting to get that ball in, and what a kick by Lockie McMillan. Hasn't had a lot of it today, only the 4 disposals, but if he can keep hitting targets like that, Yak can win the game.
Maslin brought down by Ash Van Claveren. Second turn brought to you by NZ Albury. Inspirations Paint scoreboard sees the Swannies up 36-12. The winner to advance to the TDFL Grand Final for 2023 and take on the Kiwa Sandy Creek Hawks next Saturday. Here's Hibberson. Dances around and sends it out. McLean had to go back. Griska. Oh, well done, Billy. And takes him on and then sends it out. Sees what he likes on the half-forward flank. It was to McMillan. To the pocket.
Poor kick. Just all Chilton numbers there. Really poor kick. It was really clustered forward line in that pocket. Need to be a lot better, Lockie McMillan.
And Jake Cooper took the mark, and Bertram over the top of it here.
Last 2 entries there, McMillan and McBurney, just could have gone back and actually put it to the top of the square, but a little bit rushed, a little bit panicky.
Yeah, a bit of composure needed out there, isn't there, at the moment, Scooter?
Certainly is.
McInnes. McBurney again. Trying his heart out for his team, just trying to lift them.
Yep, he's really been sort of inspirational, that player there, McBurney, and along with Lee Dale as well, has had the 5 disposals this quarter. They just need a couple more boys to get their hands in the footy, and as Scooter said, a bit more composure as well.
For sure, we'll have the halftime show thanks to the Shed Company coming up at the long break. But right now the ball's with Zach Leach. And he sends it forward, high ball. Who's under this one? Williams. Searching for it on the deck. It's gone out of bounds here. Back pocket, gap road end, far side.
Yeah, the opportunity of getting so many repeat entries has really started that. They've been able to defend that back 50 really well and not let Chilton have that easy out like they did in the first quarter and a half as well, Yakandanda.
Boundary umpire about to hurl the ball back into play. McBurney. He's been great in the second team. He might have another one, Harry.
Yes.
He does. That is a Union Hotel goal of the day. Well, that was a special kick, Scott Montgomery.
Yeah, how good was that? Read it off the hands beautifully there, Harry McBurney. He was under the pump and got it around the body and straight through the middle. As you just said, Dan, he's been inspirational in this second quarter. And really, that little nugget through the middle of the ground, he's just been getting his hands on the footy enough and showing this team, we're still in this, let's keep going, boys.
Yeah, what a fantastic goal there by McBurney. And it's almost as if he stood up a quarter time and said, who's going to be the one to get it started for us? And he's well and truly been that. He's been their best player this quarter and he's kicked 2 goals. So that is huge. They need a couple more boys and they're right back in this contest, Scooter.
Yeah, he's a momentum player too, Harry. If you can get picked up a couple of times off the bottom of a pack and pat on the back, he's on his way.
So it's back to an 18-point margin here, 3 goals. So back-to-back goals from Harry McBurney, and he's got the Ruse going. There's Bertram. And then Casey George. Petrala swung around by Bertram.
Jarrett for hitting a bit of paspalum or anything out there. The ball just didn't bounce back into his hands, did it?
He's going too quick.
To shorten up as well, so they've been really, really solid in defence the last 5 or so minutes when the ball has threatened to come in.
Meyer went forward with a quick kick. Doolan, handballs off. Oh, fumble there by Hibberson. Garland had him. Umpire said play on his McIntosh. Good delivery to Maslin. Right. This game's lifted a notch now. Out to McMillan. True centre wing. The Ruse have got some confidence now. They believe they can play at this level. There's Lappin. It turned it over.
Not the kick. He read that really well, Lappin. Dropped off his man really quickly there in Marshall and just sat in the hole and was able to take that inset mark.
Really seems like the teams have swapped jumpers really since quarter time. Yakandanda have just had all the footy and all the inside 50s. 13 now to only 5 for Chilton. So all the play and they're right back in this contest. Another 1 or 2 goals will be huge going into half time for Yak.
Beautiful delivery from Meyer to McGee. Inside to Mason, who's pushed up from defence. And he goes inside 50 over the back of Doolan. Great mark, Casey George for the Ruse. And what's he got forward here? To Griska.
Been good this quarter, Griska. I think he's really starting to get his hands on the footy and giving him a bit of run from that half-back line.
Yeah, he's got Marsh on a long lead here. Got hands to it. Well done, McGee going back, lacking over the top. Ball again out of bounds. So the Ruse was superb, as we said, in the first qualifying final against Beechworth a fortnight ago. A whopping 67-point, 11-goal win. Then last Saturday against the Kiwis Sandy Creek Hawks in the second qualifying final. They found it a little tough. They just couldn't get their game going at all. It was the Hawks by 50 points. Tosh. Ben, long one. Meyer sitting back there and takes the mark, the big man.
Says later in the quarter, Scotty Meyer will do that a lot. He'll just go kick behind, kick and a half behind play and just try and control it. Make sure they don't give away an easy goal with only a couple of minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, so if you just joined us, Chilton kicked the first 5 goals of the game. The last 2 to the Ruse to bring them back into it. So just a 3-goal margin at this stage. 36 playing 18 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard.
Yeah, such a smart footballer, isn't he, Scotty Meyer? That's why he's won a Barton medal. He's played at Wodonga Raiders in some really good footy, and he just knows when to go back and take marks and slow it down for Chilton.
Brooks off hands. And here goes Stevens. What can he line up? Coming through the heart of Sandy Creek Reserve. Over the back. George wants to come this way. Nice kick. Finding Lee Dale. Now, he swings around, searching for Marshall. Hit the pack. Lappin. She reads it well. Gray got a fist to it. Stevens. And George. Right foot. Lappin again. No.
Oh!
On McIntosh. Now, we'll just have a look at this closely.
He's in a lot of trouble here. He's in a lot of trouble. Benny McIntosh has not moved since that contest.
Yeah, I could see Lappin coming for a while off, but I thought he had eyes for the... Yeah, what do you think? No?
Nothing for the ball.
Okay.
Oh, Zach Leach needs to be careful here.
Yeah, so players fired up here.
It's weird. Chilton fans getting a bit upset about the retaliation from the way Finn Lappin's done that to Ben McIntosh.
Yeah, it's always a worry when it happens on the crowd side here too.
Yeah, Darren Holmes on the right thing. He's just getting out of the way, trying to get his players out of it, not touching anyone.
Yeah, okay. So at the moment...
Umpires need to get this footy moving, I think. I know Benny McIntosh in a bad way, but this could go on until Benny gets off the ground, I feel.
Yeah, well, they've got to get a stretcher out there as soon as possible, don't they, Scotty? I mean, you can't muck around.
No.
I understand they're doing their best out there, but just get a stretcher out there.
Yeah. Thoughts go to Benny McIntosh.
Yeah.
A terrible incident, and I'm in agreement with Scooter, to be honest. I don't think there was much eyes for the footy. It was straight into him, and an really unfortunate incident, and they've got to get Ben McIntosh off the ground.
Yeah.
Chilton fans into Zach Leach for remonstrating. I think they really need to have a look at a replay there.
I think it's smart by the officials too to blow the siren. It might have been a little bit early.
Yeah, they obviously didn't call time off there, so this might be, as you said, Scotty, the best thing that could have happened given that situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got Ben McIntosh down on the turf at the moment. He's sort of obscured from our view, and he probably is on the live stream too, I'm guessing, from the angle you guys have got. So here's the Chilton Swannies coming down underneath our broadcast spot, the crowd pumping them up, and the Ruse about to go in. Now, Zach Leach is having a word to the umpire, so too is Huey Jarrett. Now, Maslin's come in and said, boys, let's just go in. Let's just settle down, capture our breath. Completely understand that they're looking out for their teammate and great mate, Scotty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pathetic reaction from the Chilton crowd to pat him on the head after a contest like that, Finn Lappin as well.
Yeah, I'd love to see the replay. I don't know if it's as bad as what maybe you boys saw, but
even if it wasn't, you don't pat a bloke on the head for knocking someone out.
He did get nailed also afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Okay. So half time, the long break. It is the Chilton Swans 5-6-36 to the Yakandana Ruse 2-6-18. The halftime show will be brought to you by the Shed Company. When the details count on the Shed Company. We'll get to a break here on the live stream, returning shortly on Prelim Final Day.
We'll help you get the job done. We'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes. For your semis, riggers, spotters, cranes. Safety is our second name. You're looking pretty with Dunn's Twin City. No job's out of reach. Rig it, lift it, move it, shift it. No fuss, talk to us. We'll help you get the job done. We'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes.
CADMAC want your machinery to keep working as hard as you do. So, as you're gearing up for the busy season, now is the time to stock up on your machinery oil and net wrap. For a limited time, get a free cap when you buy 20 litres of any New Holland oil. Or get a free jacket with every pallet of New Holland net wrap or bale twine. These offers are only available at CADMAC and while stocks last. CADMAC, helping you grow for life. T's and C's apply.
Finer embroidery is in the fabric of our community. Any logo on anything so your business can proudly present themselves well. Embroidery that adds that personal touch that doesn't break the bank. Join the Finer embroidery community today. Proudly supporting the TDFL.
Need a computer that won't crash? Need your Wi-Fi turbocharged? Need better data backup? Whatever you need your computer to do, Wangaratta Computers will help you do it better. Because that's what we do best. wangarattacomputers.com.au.
Write it, space it, and erase it.
Finer embroidery is in the fabric of our community. Any logo on anything so your business can proudly present themselves well. Embroidery that adds that personal touch that doesn't break the bank. Join the Finer embroidery community today. Proudly supporting the TDFL.
We'll help you get the job done, we'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes. For your semis, riggers, spotters, cranes. Safety is our second name. You're looking pretty with Dunn's Twin City. No job's out of reach. Rig it, lift it, move it, shift it. No fuss, talk to us. We'll help you get the job done, we'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes.
We'll blame him for it. I'll give it to him tomorrow.
Alrighty. Countdown.
And welcome back everyone to the Sandy Creek Reserve on prelim final day 2023 at the long break. It is the Chiltern Swans, 5-6-36 leading the Tallangatta Ruse 2-6-18. The halftime show is thanks to the Shed Company. When the details count on the Shed Company. Rightio, Dan Vaccaro, Scott Montgomery, we're up here in the commentary position and we had an incident just before the halftime break. Ben McIntosh and also Finn Lappin met in a strong marking contest. So if you like, Finn Lappin was coming in pretty hard. Look, initially I thought he was going for the footy.
I'm with you, Lukey.
Yeah, and Ben McIntosh was half sort of going back with the flight.
The thing that's going to get him in trouble is it's high.
Yeah.
It's a high impact, and he's got him high, which I don't think there was any malice in it. I think Finn Lappin was generally going the ball, and then Benny just appeared out of nowhere on him.
I agree with Monty. I don't think it was malice. I think he was probably the later out of the two, though.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to get him in trouble. Where Ben, because if you watch the replay, and I'm happy to be proven wrong, it's hard to see it live. I thought that Finn pulled out and then almost put his buttocks into Ben McIntosh.
Yep.
So if his buttocks goes into him, that's suggesting to me that he's taken away. So he's come in a bit late. But absolutely, I don't think there's any malice. He didn't go to.
He didn't
want to knock him out.
Decision.
Correct.
It's
And
that flinching motion that you turn your body to protect yourself.
Yep.
Otherwise, he hits him front on, probably could do some damage to himself. And he's happened to be a lot higher than what Benny McIntosh. Benny McIntosh's feet were nearly still on the ground, and Finn Lappin was in the air, and that's what does the damage.
I definitely agree. There's no malice, but I thought he was the later out of the two, which is going to land him in trouble.
Yeah, I know we've got to be careful here too, but with all due respect, it's not great when it happens right here too on true centre wing in front of both the benches. Everyone's...
This is how stupid but teammates can be, footballers can be, because they started the fight right on top of Benny, and Lockie McMillan ended up landing on him when he was still on the ground. Let's be smart about it, boys. If you're going to fight someone, take him away from the bloke who's sitting on the ground. Just silly, but anyway, it's all over now. They've got Benny McIntosh on the stretcher and in the rooms, and that's the biggest thing. We hope Ben McIntosh is okay. Absolutely,
a fantastic player, and at the end of the day, they've just lost their best player, Yakandanda, so they're going to come out breathing a fair bit of fire in the second half, Monty. Yeah, it was pretty hot and heavy, wasn't it? The push and shove went for a fair while, went for a couple of minutes there. And both teams are into it as well, spectator-wise. So, anyway, it's hopefully the second half they just go hard at the footy and don't try and get any retribution, because if the results start going, we know what can happen sometimes, and we just hope that doesn't happen today out here. Now, I know we're all tribunal experts.
Yep, exactly.
Weeks, suspension.
It's hard without seeing the replay.
I don't mind the fence sitting here, but...
without seeing the replay, mate, and I don't want to hang someone either, so I'll keep that one to myself.
Cool.
It's one of those ones...
Scooter might be different.
I'm the same. I think it's not too dissimilar to the Braden Maynard, Angus Brayshaw situation on Thursday night, where the player was left the ground, one was in the air. Brayshaw was, it's just a real hard one to judge and adjudicate fairly. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Rightio, Dan, before we just reflect on the first half, we'll have a look at the stats first, and that might tell a bit of a story here, thanks to Mac Jack.
Well, it's almost as if, I think I said it during the quarter, it's almost as if they changed jumpers, both teams. Yakandanda were fantastic that quarter, 13 inside 50s and 4 marks inside 50, so their efficiency going forward was fantastic. Lee Dale, I thought, was fantastic at the start of that quarter. He really set the tone. He had 6 touches, along with McBurney, who I think's been Yakandanda's best player. He really got the fire started for them. Ben McIntosh, as you just said, unfortunately went down, but he was coming into the game really well as well. Lockie McMillan, a few really good touches around that forward 50 entry. But yeah, Chilton, 8 inside 50, so they've still got a fair bit of the footy forward. And Finn Lappin, the villain in the end, he was actually playing unbelievably well. He was doing a job on Nick Donoghue, who was kept relatively quiet, but he was starting to get a lot of the footy himself that quarter. He got 6 disposals that quarter as well.
Scotty, the Ruse are back on the ground.
I don't know what's going on there.
Homer's got them up and going.
Probably just try and keep the fire in the belly and get them out there, and so they can't really just vent it up in the room. Let's get out there and let's be ready to go.
Yeah, I don't mind to see.
They might try and rush Chilton and the umpires along, so it's good to see. I might just quickly run around the grounds, boys. At the moment, it's 8-5, 53 to 0-4, 4 behind, so 49-point lead to Osborne out there. So it's nearly all over, I'd say, out there in the Hume League. And while in the Ovens and Murray, 5-8, 38, Yarrawonga lead Albury 2-5, 17. Of course, that's to get into the grand final in the second semi there.
Yeah, the halftime show again for the Shed Company. When details count on the Shed Company. So, and here come the Swannies. So they may have reduced halftime here, Scotty.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, we might get to a break here, or otherwise we might find ourselves in a bit of trouble. Okay, so the Swans and the Ruse back on the ground here for the second half. We'll get to a break and return shortly on the TDFL live stream for a big second half in the prelim final.
We'll help you get the job done. We'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes. For your semis, riggers, spotters, cranes. Safety is our second name. You're looking pretty with Dunn's Twin City. No job's out of reach. Rig it, lift it, move it, shift it. No fuss, talk to us. We'll help you get the job done. We'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes.
CADMAC want your machinery to keep working as hard as you do. So, as you're gearing up for the busy season, now is the time to stock up on your machinery oil and net wrap. For a limited time, get a free cap when you buy 20 litres of any New Holland oil. Or get a free jacket with every pallet of New Holland net wrap or bale twine. These offers are only available at CADMAC and while stocks last. CADMAC, helping you grow for life. T's and C's apply.
Finer embroidery is in the fabric of our community. Any logo on anything so your business can proudly present themselves well. Embroidery that adds that personal touch that doesn't break the bank. Join the Finer embroidery community today. Proudly supporting the TDFL.
Need a computer that won't crash? Need your Wi-Fi turbocharged? Need better data backup? Whatever you need your computer to do, Wangaratta Computers will help you do it better. Because that's what we do best. wangarattacomputers.com.au.
Write it, space it, and erase it.
Finer embroidery is in the fabric of our community. Any logo on anything so your business can proudly present themselves well. Embroidery that adds that personal touch that doesn't break the bank. Join the Finer embroidery community today. Proudly supporting the TDFL.
We'll help you get the job done, we'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes. For your semis, riggers, spotters, cranes. Safety is our second name. You're looking pretty with Dunn's Twin City. No job's out of reach. Rig it, lift it, move it, shift it. No fuss, talk to us. We'll help you get the job done, we'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes.
10, 9, 8, 7.
So thanks to the Shed Company for the halftime show. We're back here at the Sandy Creek Reserve for a big second half, and at the moment it is a 3-goal lead to the Chiltern Swans, 5-6-36 to the Yakandana Ruse, 2-6-18. Scotty Montgomery for Albury Wodonga MG. What have the Ruse got to do at the start of this third term to work their way back into this prelim?
I'd love to see them play exactly the same way they played that second quarter. They were able to defend the middle of the ground a lot better, didn't let Chiltern get their run up and going through there. They dropped off, they didn't all cram inside 50, which made it really hard to score early on. They were able to really just defend the ground, as I said, a lot better. And then their repeat inside 50s, they didn't just blaze away. They tried to find the holes. They did it a couple of times. Zach Leach got one from Nick Donaghy in a hole, which should have kicked from 30 straight out in front. McBurney rushed one going inside, which would have been another shot on goal. So they did everything right in that second quarter. They just weren't able to hit the scoreboard enough, and they probably just need that little bit more composure. A couple of their older guys probably need to get the footy in their hands around the 50 rather than the young guys who look like they look a little bit rushed.
Yeah, very good, Scotty. Now, as we know, the Chiltern Swans were the first 5 majors of the game. So Brad Hibberson and Jaden Vandermeer kicked a goal each in the opening term. Then back-to-back goals to Kyle Cooper were very good at the Pony Club end. The next one was to Caleb Boxall. And then Dan, Harry McBurney almost got the Swans going single-handedly with 2 goals to him.
Yeah, he was unbelievable that quarter. And as Scooter said before, he's a really sort of moment, and he takes a little bit to get inspired up, but he was fantastic that quarter. He really got the fire started for Yakandanda, so he kicked 2 goals and was probably their best ball winner, Scotty, along with Lee Dale, who I thought really got the fire started as well. For Yak.
Absolutely. He's fantastic, Lee Dale. He was one of those midfielders that stopped, just jamming inside 50. He was coming out. He took a lot of intercept marks here across the middle of the ground, and then his ball use was fantastic. Really good vision, was able to do it. As we were just talking about the off-air boys, the Yakananda players were remonstrating with the umpires because the siren had gone and they were telling them to get off the ground, but they did have a free kick and 50-metre penalty, which would have got them within scoring distance, so they probably should have been allowed to have the shot on goal. I reckon he's going to be sent off here, boys, to be honest.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So Scotty has just met, so Lappin.
Yeah, yellow card.
There you go.
So 15 minutes.
Yeah, so Finn Lappin has been sent from the ground. A yellow card, as Scott Montgomery said.
You better just come off through the gates here, boys.
Yeah, they're telling him to come off through the gates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, so an extraordinary start here to the second half as Finn comes to the bench. Yeah. So Ben McIntosh, we'll get a report on him as well. So he did leave the ground in a stretcher just prior to half-time after an incident just left of centre wing.
There's St. Angus Lim forward, boys, so a bit of a change-up. Been the fullback all year, probably been in the team of the year in the back pocket. I think he might have been even at fullback, and he's gone forward. So just trying to stretch him maybe a little bit here.
Super important. You're going to be breathing fire this quarter, boys. Super important they put that intensity onto the footy and start playing some good footy as well.
I just hope they're smart with where their loose man goes. As you can see there, he's already in the 50. I hope he gets up around the footy a little bit and try and open the game up for him through the middle of the ground.
Third term for Wiesners. Dale.
Through that.
Yeah, Scott Montgomery on the money.
Yeah, he just had the one-arm pin, didn't he, boys? So he wasn't able to get a hand to it to give the handball and just chucked it out there.
Vandermeer to the Gap Road end. Here we go. We'll have some feeling in this second half. Here's McInnes. Comes away for the Ruse and gets it on to Petrala. Ethan wanting to duck back inside as he so often does. Short one to Casey George. Now he's got a runner out wide here. And this is McMillan. Lockie wanted to duck back in, and he elected to go forward in the end. Finds Donaghy and Nick. Lee Dale.
Oh, great kick.
Good footy from the Ruse. So Lee Dale, after a great kick in from Nick Donaghy, Scott Montgomery.
Yeah, 2 kicks in a row there. The first from Lockie McMillan, just smart, didn't blaze down the line. He used the ball well. He sat it out in front of Donaghy, who worked really hard up the ground. Then Donaghy's kick there, just out in the space. Lee Dale, again, worked really hard from this near side to get out towards that fat side.
So this would give the Ruse their third in a row. First goal of the third term. Can Lee Dale kick it? Gee, this would get the crowd going. Didn't make the distance in the end. Ball still pinging around, and Pratt gets it across the line for one behind. So 36 plays 19.
They would have had a great start, wouldn't they, for the Yakananda? They moved the footy so well there with that extra man, Lockie McMillan becoming the overlap. So that's what they've got to use a bit more of. Get that guy that's loose up in the footy, get him open, and try and make sure they can use their run. That's
Scoreboard thanks to the Commercial Club in the third term. Chapadong's time clock has gone close to 2 minutes. And firing up the cigars down in the bar there, Scotty.
Yeah, it might be the vapes. Isn't that the new thing they do these days, isn't it, Lukey?
That's what it is it? The vapes downstairs.
You're a vapor, Lukey?
Oh, turned over to Petrala. Ethan swings around. Left foot goes for home. He's pulled it right. And then goes through from one behind. So they're peppering here, the Ruse. They've lifted here in the second half.
Scotty, what can you tell us about Ethan Petrala? I don't know a lot about him, but I've liked the way he's played today. He's been up and around, and his skill level looks like it's pretty high.
Yeah, great juniors come out of Yaks, I guess the program you call it these days. Yeah, beautiful long left foot kick, and certainly can run and carry the ball well.
Yeah, he's playing on this side, so every time he gets it, he turns inside being a left footer. Get good delivery through the middle of the ground. There's Meyer. Stands tall for the Swans. Now Scott. They're on the half-back flank, the Ruse. Oh, top spinner. McInnes came out and met it well. Hemming got swung around. Reckon he lost that. McInnes. Right foot along the ground wasn't the best. Goes by McBurney. Brooks thought that was in the back. Umpire said play on. McBurney smothered by Stevens. And the crowd lifting here, Scotty Montgomery.
Just got a netball update for Atura Aubrey, boys, at half-time in the A grade. Kiwa 24, lead Thaguna 15.
Third term brought to you by Wiesners here. This is prelim final day. As we said, the winner to take on the Hawks. The next Saturday's big one, Meyer Leach, Lee Dale. Gets brought down in a strong tackle. Umpire will take it.
Been fantastic since quarter time, Lee Dale, hasn't he? He's probably been the one to get them going, and as the other player goes down there.
Look at the umpire's reaction, David Ryan. I just looked at Zachy Leach there.
He wasn't impressed, was he? Leach, Hemming, and then Billy Griska. Hemming goes in again. Umpire to have it. A little entertainment there. Scooter for the Charcoal Kings. Now, do we know how Ben McIntosh is just coming off shortly before half-time?
Yeah, I went down there just before I came back up, boys, and he started talking to the trainers. He has a neck brace on. I guess looking back at the footage, he looked like he was knocked out before he even hit the ground, and then his head, quite a big knock. So they're pretty worried about neck and spinal injuries at this stage. A little bit of pain in his shoulders as well. So
okay.
Thoughts go out to the McIntosh family and
Ben. Yep. No, that's it. Going through the
protocols.
protocols.
Was he's got pain. If he can feel pain, that's a good sign in a way.
Yeah, always good to have feeling. Rightio. Leach. And then Huey Jarrett. Here's Brooks going after it with Garland. Great contest here, Brooks. And then out of bounds just in front of the Swannies bench. Third term here. And hasn't it gone up a gear? 36 playing 20 on the Commercial Club scoreboard. Chapadong's time clock has gone close to 5 minutes. Let's have a close look at this for our viewers on the TDFL live stream. So over the back of the contest, Ash Van Claveren, Hemming, quickly on the boot. This goes to centre half forward for the Swans. Doolan a long way out from the goal square. In fact, we've got no player inside defensive 50. Gap road in as McGee starts to get back there now.
I think we'll see that a lot from Chilton now. If the one less, they'll try and get all their numbers up around the footy and just slow it down if they've got to, and just try and eat up as much clock as they can.
Meyer, Hemming, Hibberson, out to McLean. Gee, that was good, clean footy. Then great pressure from behind as he got his kick away. Going back, Logan Martin, and knocks it across the line there for one behind. Great pressure from the Ruse defence there, Scotty Montgomery.
Absolutely it was, wasn't it? It was able to come from behind, put the pressure on the kick there, and yeah, just been able to influence it right at the end.
As the ball comes back in, O'Connell looking for Donaghy. Good mark. It's a mile from home though.
He's got up the ground a lot in this quarter already, Donaghy.
He has. Brooks swings it around, high ball going in towards the attacking zone. Logan Martin over the top, came down and hit the ground heavily. McGee on the boot. Yes, McGee. Kyle McGee has nailed it. Swannies get another. The bench lifts. And they just get out to a handy break, Scotty Montgomery.
Absolutely, they do. McGee's lucky he kicked that one because he had Jakey Cooper streaming past. Would have kicked it from nearly the top of the goal square there, but straight through the middle of Kyle McGee, and that's one that Yak probably didn't want to give up with the extra man advantage at the moment.
Yeah, it's another one against the tide for Chilton, so they're really good at that. When they've got all the play, Yakandanda, Chilton are still able to get out the back and score, which is it's a little bit concerning for Yakandanda's defence. They've got to sharpen up there.
Well, Donny just pressured into making a handball there where he should have kicked long down the line.
Yep.
Just that pressure acts.
Spot on, Scoot.
Reset back in the middle, whistle.
Nelson's found one.
So someone's infringed on the square here.
Yeah, I think it was Bailey Dale on this near wing, got pinged for going in a little bit too early.
Meyer. Gee, that's a long kick. Oh, Lingham. And that is a contender for the Great Outdoors mark of the day. The criminal lawyer with an absolute screamer. Brooks. And then on the right foot, just got a little smothered. Kyle Cooper. So right on the boundary with a 50 meets it, and then he goes to Jake Cooper.
Yeah,
what about Lingham's mark?
Yeah, it wasn't bad, was it? But the kick coming back out wasn't great again, and Kyle Cooper there just really smart. I think he was looking for Mark Dorn, but found his little bro instead.
Here he goes, Jake Cooper across the face of goal. Oh, Doolan. Another beauty. Great jukes. Oh, so a couple of contenders for the Great Outdoors mark of the day. In the last 60 seconds, one to Angus Lemon and one to Mark Doolan.
How good was that? Back with the fly. He just stayed in the contest. Probably could have got the mark that Cooper took, but just worked his way back to the goal square and was able to take that one beautifully with the fly to the footy.
This would get it out to 29 points. He misses. He kicks it behind.
He's Churchy from the Great Outdoors. He used to be able to get up pretty high. The tall, mobile fella. He'd be proud of those.
He didn't hold on to him too often, but he used to get up the big lurch. He used to get up there nice and high. But,
lurch.
Have you ever met Churchy there, Lukey?
No.
Great fella, one of the nicest men getting around, I reckon. But yeah.
There you go.
How long premiership player?
The Spiders. Unfortunately got knocked out last week, didn't they? By the Saints. And they're playing tomorrow versus the Giants in the Hume League. Here's Donaghy. Mason. Did well to spoil the mark. Ritchie. Now that's a high kick. Players got to wait for it to come down. McBurney. The great second term. Comes out wide now. And the Ruse want to move it to centre wing. Oh, that's a floater. Ends up with Caleb Boxall. Now he's got a lot of options here. As Caleb wants to straighten up. Good ball. to McLean. Mitch turns around.
Trouble.
Yep. That's a whole herd of Ruse there. Now Casey George with it. Centre wing. Oh, nice. Gets around the man on the mark. This is Ben Jones, and over the back, here's Pratt. He's played a good game, this guy. And Pratt, very experienced player, out to Stevens. And away they go, the Swans on the outer side to Brooks. 44 plays 20 on the Commercial Club scoreboard. Third term brought to you by Wiesness. We've gone over 9 on the Jabbo Dongs time clock.
Great tackle. Grisker.
And here's Maslin. So the Ruse with a chance. Huey Jarrett. Yep. Takes the mark. Now, what do you reckon? Scooter for the Charcoal Kings.
Left footer. If he sets it up on the right hand post, he might be able to guide it back in. Can get a little bit of that left footer right to left curl late too. So I'll back him in.
Rightio.
Oh, don't put the moz on him like Robbie does.
He's to get it back to 18 points. No,
Still there.
yeah, it's still in play, and that ball is knocked across the line for one behind.
One thing we didn't really talk about, Billy Grisker's run down tackle there. That's exactly what Yak need to build their game on to get back into this. They need just hard work and chase down tackles and do everything all the 1%ers right.
Very good. We'll go around the grounds again very shortly. Big game. And, of course, the O&M today. The Pigeons up against the Tigers in the second semi-final. The Hume, Legas, Osborne and Holbrook. Gray out to Ritchie. That kick was partially smothered. Donaghy, Gray after him, Hibberson after him. He keeps going, Nick. This would be a super goal, but that one's wide and it's going to go out of bounds on the full back pocket far side, Pony Club end.
He hasn't been at his best in terms of skills, but his work rate is exceptional, Nick Donaghy. He gets up the ground more than any other forward I've seen in this league as well. He works really hard to get up the ground and he works hard back as well. If he can get some scoreboard reward, he's had a great game.
He's spot on, Dan. He plays a lot like Jeremy Cameron, I reckon. Now, there's the Swans. That was Garside working hard to Ritchie. Logan Martin to Garland for the Swans. For the Ruse, I should say. And then Bailey Dale to Casey George, weaving through traffic. Oh, good delivery.
It's been good, Casey George.
O'Connell.
Been really good.
Now, this is turning into a super contest this third term. Found Lee Dale. Scotty Montgomery. Now, is he going to back himself in here? He does in the end. That's curling back. Oh, gee, getting back. Ruse defence. Pratt again.
Yeah, he's worked hard, Pratty. He's nearly playing a lone hand back there as a loose man. He's just trying to make sure that they don't get anything easy out the back while they've got this extra man advantage. And we'll just quickly go around the ground at the moment. Yarrawonga hold a 19-point lead, 46-27 in the third quarter. And in the Hume League, we have Osborne 69-6, 60, leading Holbrook 2-4-16.
Yeah, wow.
The one thing I love about Lee Dale, boys, is his ability to go from defence to offence so seamlessly, and he's such an asset defensively when he's playing behind the ball, like Monty said, but when he goes forward, he's just as dangerous.
Yeah, he does. Stevens burning away on the outer side. Long one down the ground. Here's McGee. McGee, inside ball, trying to find Kyle Cooper. McInnes for the Ruse to Grisker. Gone. Doolan with a magnificent tackle, and listen to the Chilton bench.
Now, if you line Billy Grisker and Mark Dorlan up for a 100-metre dash, there's no chance. Dorlan's getting within 20 metres of him. But when the football's involved, Mark Dorlan just gives his absolute heart and soul. And what a great job there. What a great tackle. And he gets another shot on goal. He had one of these earlier on in the game from nearly identical position, wasn't able to kick it. So he needs to make sure he goes back and puts this one through, Big Dukes.
Yeah, Billy Grisker's radar was just a little off. Just was unaware that Mark Dorlan was right on his tail. And that one has gone through for another behind.
That's his third behind Mark Dorlan today, so he's had his chances.
45 plays 22. Commercial Club scoreboard. Third term brought to you by Wiesner's. Jabbo Dong's time clock has gone close to 13. Third term.
It's starting just to become a really even contest now, even though the scoreboard doesn't necessarily say that, but 5 inside 50s apiece now, so it's travelling from end to end pretty consistently now.
She game on if the Ruse can get the next one. Out wide to Marshall. Wide out on the half-forward flank. Just forward to centre wing. That might be out in the full, is it? That lady in a fold-up chair was calling out in the full. And she's right.
They've just gone with it.
Yeah.
She was closer than everyone else.
Yeah, but I'm in the fold-up chair. Shout out to you.
By her.
That's it. I think...
is that Mara Vacara over there?
No green shirt for her, but it certainly worked. Whatever
Doesn't venture out here much, Mara.
Yeah.
Ash Van Claveren came off in the first half. A bit of claret pouring from the brows. Got the headband on. Back on. Here's Gray. back pocket for the Swans. Now he sees what he likes here. These are the kicks that have got to come off, and it doesn't. Bailey Dudder, here's a big chance for the Ruse. Donaghy. Oh, nah, didn't come off. Hibberson playing on. Here's the coach for the Swannies. And he goes forward with a long one. So that was a big moment for the Ruse down here. And now McGee takes the mark. And in the context of this game, this would hurt the Ruse, Scotty Montgomery.
Absolutely, it does, doesn't it? Nick Donaghy's just had one of those days, hasn't he? Bit of a filthy day. Caught hold on the footy there, and 2 possessions later, it's gone inside 50 to McGee. But another beautiful kick from Brad Hibberson. I think that's his 4th inside 50 for the day, where he's been able to find a target as well. So, been absolutely fantastic, Brad Hibberson through the middle. Hasn't had a massive amount of touches, but what he's done's been really good. And Kyle McGee, he just works hard all day long, and he's going back here for his 2nd goal of the quarter.
Yeah, it could be a game-defining moment, this one. So Ruse with a heavy chance to kick a goal down this end. Nah, he's blown it, Kyle. He's missed it. So the Ruse let off the hook.
Both teams kicking a goal today has been extraordinary, hasn't it? You don't see it very often, but 2-10 to 6-10. So
spot on there.
Goal kicking boots are not on today at all.
Yeah. Now, here's our leading possession getter, mate, for both teams on the MacJack stats.
Jaden Vandermeer at the moment has probably had 10 disposals, but apart from that, there hasn't been a whole lot of ball winners. Lee Dale's had 11 on my stat sheet, so he'd be leading it at the moment.
Van Claveren gone. Yep. Umpire's called it. Okay. So here's another chance for the Ruse. Now, which way it's going to go? It's going to go to Jimmy Lawson. Now, Scooter, what's Jimmy like in front of the sticks?
He's a very good kick, doing exactly what he just did then. Passing it off, he is just centimetre perfect, you'd say. Straight to Casey George.
Casey George has been absolutely fantastic this quarter. His skill levels is very, very high, and his composure around the footy is exactly what Yak needed.
Casey for Yak's 3rd, and to give them a real shot in this prelim. That is straight through the middle. That is a Union Hotel goal of the day. This game is far from over. Don't you worry about that.
One they definitely needed there, Yak. They've probably been the team that's leading this quarter, haven't been able to hit the scoreboard, and then they've hit their first goal there through Casey George. And smart play, just said Jimmy Lawson got the free kick holding the ball and just went back, and as Scooter said, best thing you can do is pass it off, and well done, what a kick. And then, Casey George gets the finish.
Yeah, I'd back Jimmy Lawson in from there, but his accuracy with the ball to hit a bloke inside 50 is second to none. And then to kick it to Casey George, who's probably second to Angus Lingham in that measured, perfect sort of kicking ability. And I watched him kick 20 goals 3 one day, and he put it straight through the middle.
So it's back to 18 points, 3 goals. So it's probably fair to say the Swans have dominated this game, but they lead by 3 straight kicks. Here's McBurney, floater to the arc of the 50, Lee Dale. Now this man is a class act, we know that. He thinks his way through situations, and he pops it up to the hot spot. Leach coming. Oh, Brooks. Unbelievable effort. And now's Bertram. Oh, Leach brings him down high. Yeah, that was a little reckless, that one. Bertram.
Careless more so, I'd say, Lukey, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're right. You summed it up very well, Scotty. Thorby Donga MG.
I think Bertram played it the way that he knew Leach was going to go. Exactly.
Yep, and Jake Cooper out of bounds centre wing, far side here, 3rd term. We're gone almost, 17.5 on the Jappo Dogs time clock.
I just like how it's opened up a little bit now, boys. I feel that this last quarter and a half could really open up even more, and we could see some more shots on goal. I'm not saying there's going to be goals because their kicking boots are off, but there could be a lot more shots on goals in store for us.
Did you see the breeze blow that ball, that throw in?
It's picked up a bit, looking at those flags.
Huey Jarrett, long ball. Oh, gee, over the back. Great contest. Oh, brought to ground Lawson. Play goes on. Garland thought he just fell over. Oh, well done, Bertram. Got spun around. Oh, this is great to watch now.
Yeah.
We've got a contest on our hands now, boys.
Free kick to Bertram for too high in that tackle, boys.
So Caleb Bertram. Here he is. As you said, Dan, he came into the game with the headband on, didn't he?
He did. He started the game with the headband. He's done the Ben McAvoy. He did that most of his career. So
proactive.
Playing it safe. He had a few stitches last week, Scooter was saying.
He might have slept in it last night. Getting that, is that ready? Fired up for it.
Did you ever have a bit of claret on your head, or you didn't go in hard enough?
Nah, there was silly people that couldn't kick the footy that went and got that, and I'd get on the outside, mate.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you.
Use your pace, Scotty.
Yeah, nah, just the way I could kick it. Definitely not pace. And Finn Lap cheer there's from the Chiltern crowd. Finn Lappin's just come back on, so we're back to 18 apiece, boys.
So Jake Cooper goes into Boxall. Now Caleb, indecisive, in two minds, goes out wide. Good vision in the end. Oh, just too tall for Brooks. Petrala got shoved off the ball by Brooks. Good play. Jones, Ben. Oh, poster. It's a poster, wow. So we've had two gems from that pocket and that one hitting the post.
The hardest pocket on the ground too, Scooter.
I can't understand how the Breeze isn't pushing the ball through the goals. They've missed 3 to that left-hand side.
Yeah, the old magical wind tunnel, eh? Yeah, Lappin back on the ground after that yellow card. Hemming at a bugger of a bounce. Big Bernie just to Huey Jarrett. And here come the Ruse again. What can they make of this? Leach, second attempt, put it to deck. And then nice from Garside. Hemming. Gee, the Breeze is getting up here. At the Sandy Creek Reserve. Donaghy. Now Ash Van Claveren with Lawson coming at him. Sees it across the chalk, and that's what he needed in the end. Scotty Montgomery, Ash Van Claveren, just a stoppage.
Yeah, just experience there from Ash, wasn't it? If he had taken it, he could have got tackled by Lawson. He was coming in quick, but just thought he'd let it roll out of bounds, and very smart play.
Scott Montgomery for Albury-Wodonga MG. Scooter Fraser for the Charcoal Kings. Dan Vaccaro on the Mac Jack stats. Third turn brought to you by Wiesners. Back pocket, Pony Club end, near side. Look at them going in for the pill.
Yeah, both teams want it now. It's
It's
just a good old dogfight, isn't
Zach
it?
Leach
It's
just
brilliant.
ragdolled Scott Moore in the ruck, and everything's just starting to heat up again.
Let's have a good look for our viewers. About to go Meyer. Big kick. A hack one. Bouncing ball. It'll find the Chiltern bench. And they'll have another chance to reset. 47 plays 28 on the Commercial Club scoreboard. Boundary umpire. Back in. Williams. O'Connell. Gets it out. Lawson. Oh, well done. Just slithers his way out. Oh,
nearly a kick.
Garland nearly took it in.
Probably could have got a kick.
And now this one is a stoppage inside the 50 of the Pony Club end. Umpire again to take it.
Yak and Den have been fantastic, guys. 11 inside 50 this quarter. They just need a bit more scoreboard pressure. Another one really makes it an interesting last.
I'd say the only thing there would have been Garland must have had a bit of jumper.
Going the other way, you reckon? Let's just go around the grounds quickly, boys. Yarrawonga 54 lead, Albury 27 late in the third quarter.
I reckon it's dropped about 5 degrees too here, boys. I'm freezing now.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Toughen
Dan.
Toughen up. Where are you from?
Didn't you play at Yak and Dan?
Myrtleford, and I played at Yak.
in the world.
From Myrtleford, and you're not liking the cold, mate.
Yeah, he's a Hawthorn supporter too. We're gonna say that.
Hey. He's up.
Here we go, back into play. Meyer. Now Kyle Cooper. Oh, second bite at Williams. Yeah, let go of it in the end. McLean. Now, let's see what the Swans have got. They're going to move it quickly here. McGee. And ball's gone out of bounds. That was okay. Strong contest. Lingham at the back. Well, the crowd are working into it now. They've had a few sherbets down there, a few lemonades. And they are getting very, very vocal. They're getting some advice down here, the umpires, the players. It's all part of country footy. We love it. O'Connell, McBurney, wild one. Lawson, Casey George, well done Bertram. Williams ends up with it. O'Connell shrugs a tackle. Beautiful kick. Donaghy. Oh, well done. This is good to watch. Then Brooks, just blew it off the side of the boot.
Don't know if you boys noticed who took that last ruck throw in for Chiltern, but it was Mitch Hemming, one of the smaller guys out there, because Scotty Mays is playing that kick behind late in this third quarter, just trying to make sure there's no easy goals for Yak.
Okay, 23 gone, Japo Donk's time clock, third term. Now here's Petrala. We know how good a kicker he is. Here he goes, Ethan. Look at that. Thumps it in. George over the top, couldn't get it and reel it in. And Garside with a nice defensive play, Scott Montgomery.
Yeah, I love the way he's played today, Connor Garside. He's got up at the height of the footy and he's put his fist through it every single chance he's got. I reckon he's been fantastic for the Chiltern Swans today.
Here we go. Leach. Stevens.
Chiltern's defence has been really good in this last 5 minutes. Yak and Dander have been absolutely peppering the inside 50s, but they're holding up well, Chiltern.
It's
That's
obviously
it.
worrying Chilton to put a loose man down there at this stage of the game.
Garland, Lappin, spits it out. And then out through Jones. McInnes, good mark. Now he's got a couple free. O'Connell's calling for it.
Donaghy wants it in front.
Hemming was awake to it. Now McInnes runs around. Left foot. Pops it up. Hot spot. Oh, Lappin put it to deck. And then Bertram. Left foot. It's coming back in again. Here's Maslin. Maslin picks it up. Lawson. Hemming. Lee Dale. Here we go. Big moment here. Let's have a look. Huge moment. Bouncing ball. And then they come away. Gar side to Lappin. Now this one's with Gray and makes it. So the Swans have held up. Great work back there, Scotty.
Just there in those 5 minutes and didn't capitalise. So if they can get there and get a couple of quick ones, certainly game on.
19 points the margin on the Commercial Club scoreboard. Third term for Wiesners. Chapo Donk's time clock has nearly gone 25. Gee, the Ruse dearly love
Both
one.
quarters have gone 26 minutes as well, guys.
Yeah, gee, they just need one here, don't they, Yak? Just before that three-quarter time break.
12 inside 50s to 7 this quarter.
Swans' defence has just worked overtime. They've been so good back here. Lawson bouncing beyond him. Now here we go.
Two-goal quarter.
Yeah, clock beats him. James O'Connell just throws the ball away in disgust. Okay, that is three-quarter time of the Sandy Creek Reserve. Let's see who will win that second spot through to the big one, the TDFL Grand Final for 2023. A huge final term coming up. At the moment, it's the Chilton Swans 6-11-47 to the Yakandanda Ruse 3-10-28. A break on the TDFL live stream returning shortly.
We'll help you get the job done. We'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes. For your semis, riggers, spotters, cranes. Safety is our second name. You're looking pretty with Dunn's Twin City. No job's out of reach. Rig it, lift it, move it, shift it. No fuss, talk to us. We'll help you get the job done. We'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes.
CADMAC want your machinery to keep working as hard as you do. So, as you're gearing up for the busy season, now is the time to stock up on your machinery oil and net wrap. For a limited time, get a free cap when you buy 20 litres of any New Holland oil. Or get a free jacket with every pallet of New Holland net wrap or bale twine. These offers are only available at CADMAC and while stocks last. CADMAC, helping you grow for life. T's and C's apply.
Finer embroidery is in the fabric of our community. Any logo on anything so your business can proudly present themselves well. Embroidery that adds that personal touch that doesn't break the bank. Join the Finer embroidery community today. Proudly supporting the TDFL.
Need a computer that won't crash? Need your Wi-Fi turbocharged? Need better data backup? Whatever you need your computer to do, Wangaratta Computers will help you do it better. Because that's what we do best. wangarattacomputers.com.au.
Write it, space it, and erase it.
Finer embroidery is in the fabric of our community. Any logo on anything so your business can proudly present themselves well. Embroidery that adds that personal touch that doesn't break the bank. Join the Finer embroidery community today. Proudly supporting the TDFL.
We'll help you get the job done, we'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes. For your semis, riggers, spotters, cranes. Safety is our second name. You're looking pretty with Dunn's Twin City. No job's out of reach. Rig it, lift it, move it, shift it. No fuss, talk to us. We'll help you get the job done, we'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes.
Don't go anywhere. Huge term coming up. Coming out to centre wing, so McLean, then on to Brooks, and then Brooks goes down towards Kyle Cooper. Oh, good mark, Logan Martin, and takes it. And he wants to move it to Lee Dale. Dale, Leach, McBurney, and Lee Dale. And then got brought down. Players fighting away. Yeah, so huge final term here. 47 plays 28. Who will be the next team through and the final team through to next Saturday's TDFL Grand Final? The Hawks await. Will it be the Ruse? Can they peg back the Swannies? Or will the reigning premiers advance to take on the Hawkers? Let's see. Here we go. Here's Griska taking the mark on half-back for the Ruse. Final term brought to you by Tallangatta Construction and Maintenance. I hope you're enjoying the TDFL live stream action throughout the finals. Petrala, he's played a great game for his Ruse, lapping over the top. Good mark, George. In fact, it's Marshall back there. And then he wants to square it. Williams, one hand to it. Lawson got brought down. Play still goes on here. And a quick kick out of the pack. And then it gets back to Pratt. Swans hold up again through Mason. And they shifted out the far side to Meyer. Now he's got some room to move. We know how big a kick he is. Great delivery to McGee. Fumbled and puts it down. So we're on the move, the Swannies, and they let the Ruse off the hook again.
Yeah. He's been out of sorts, McGee, hasn't he?
He has. That was a really poor one, that one. Should have taken that mark for sure. Out in front, had a couple of metres on his opponent, and it was a great kick from Scotty Meyer coming out of defensive 50.
Meyer played for the free kick. Said Leach got him around the shoulder. Umpire said play on. McLean. And then kick partially smothered. I reckon that was touched. Umpire's paid it. Okay. That's all right. He's in a lot better spot than what I am. Plays on. Jones. Another low ball. Wasn't the best of kicks. As this one gets out the back to McLean. Lee Dale fighting away. McGee off the ground. Kyle Cooper hooks it over. James O'Connell comes in. Hibberson meets him. So too does Jake Cooper. Ball goes to ground. Now, Scooter, at what stage do we know what the crowd figure will be, mate? We can hear the ground announcer there at the moment. Be interesting to know what our gate was today at some stage. We might get that through for our
I'll get a message to the
viewers.
President's room and see what we can come back with.
Look at his connections here.
He's got connections
I think they
everywhere.
were just reading out there.
Mayor of TDFL.
You worry
I've got
about
to
that.
check my raffle tickets. That's what they were doing.
That's what you really worried about.
That's
The
more
meat
important.
tray. Barbecue at Scooters.
Boxall. No. O'Connell's got it. Petrala. He's been very good. He just misses Griska over the top. Stevens onto it. Handball's off. Here they go. Through Vandermeer. Kyle Cooper, great pick-up. Wants to swing back onto that right. Lingham had him. Oh, great kick. Centering ball. Let's have a look. Hemming. Garland. Meyer makes it. Wants to play on. Get out of his road. Here he goes, Scotty Meyer. That is huge. They might be on their way to the big one. There's still a fair way to go yet, but that might get them through to next Saturday's grand final. Let's wait and see, Dan Vaccaro.
Absolutely, and that's why he's a Barton medalist. He's just pure class, Scotty Meyer, and a great player there. He's got agility that you don't see in many mid-30s. Ruckman, he was fantastic there, Scotty Meyer, and what a finish.
Yeah, absolutely. The pick up first of all, and got around a tackler, a would-be tackler, and then threw it on that left boot and straight through the middle. And he's blowing hard now. He's only got another 15 minutes of hard work for this week to get through, Scotty, but he's been absolutely phenomenal today for the Chiltern Swans.
Yeah, Scooter, a big goal, and particularly having a look at the flags on the Dunn Twins 20 cranes because the wind's blowing across the ground, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. Just a poor turnover again by Yak, and Scotty Meyer capitalised on it.
Garland.
Been a bit off today, Garland, I feel. He's been a little bit fumbly and probably made a few poor decisions as well.
Momentum with the Swans. The next one would, well, almost clear it out or close it out. Here's McInnes long out of the back line. And ball at ground level. Lawson hemming onto him. Ball's out of bounds adjacent to the scoreboard far side as a rainbow appears over there. Dan, look at that.
Hopefully there's a pot of goal at the end of it, Luke.
Yes, we'll have to go and search for that.
Or a leprechaun.
A leprechaun, yes. Yeah, but good racing in Sydney and Melbourne today. Now, boys, I can tell you that in the Mackenzie Stakes at Moonee Valley. Now, let's have a look here. Bursting onto it, Jake Cooper. Nah. Across the face of goal for one behind. Yeah. Okay, so the Ruse need to pull something out of the bag now. What's left in the bag of tricks? 54 plays 28. And the X-Grade Group scoreboard in the final term brought to you by Tallangatta Construction and Maintenance. We have gone just over 5 on the Jappo Donks Time Clock. Just saying at Moonee Valley today in the Mackenzie Stakes, it was won by Stapati. Now he's an absolute star. He's on the second line of betting for the Caulfield Guineas. Could well be favourite after today's win. The connection, Gus McLeod's father is in the ownership of Stapati.
Mr. McLeod.
He's a very good horse, Stapati. McBurney.
He'll be celebrating more than lives, I think, Mr. McLeod, if that's the case.
Yeah, that is it.
Good for Gussie to give us the tip too, eh, boys?
Yeah, thanks, Gus.
Yeah. Marshall bounced beyond him. He's lapping. Out to Pratt. And then Pratt.
He's been fantastic today, Pratt, as well.
Yeah, he's been one of their best.
Don't know how many blokes would go getting off the plane and playing a game like this.
Yeah, big effort. Off the tarmac. Now, the ball's at half forward through Garland. Nice play on this occasion. And good delivery to Maslin. Now, they need the next goal. We know that. Donaghy over the top. Mason for the Swans. Here he comes. Now he wants to head back towards the middle. Good kick to McLean. Next one's McGee up the line if he wants him. He's got to ignore him. Has a bounce here, Mitch. Now he goes with the left foot. Brooks in front of Griska. Sweeping in with a Ruse through McMillan to Maslin. Needs some space inside 50. Williams is screaming for it. Didn't go to him. Pop-up ball to O'Connell. True centre half forward for the Ruse. They're kicking towards the gap road end.
Play on, not 15.
He called play on from very early, but I don't know whether he's maybe thought it was touched off the boot. That's the only thing I can think of because he called it as soon as he kicked it.
Yeah, almost similar to the players. We're confused. There goes Dale. Lee Dale bouncing ball back there. In fact, McMillan's taken it. Now that's a goal. Okay. So it's back to 20 points. 54 plays, 34 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard.
Yep.
Jappo Donk's time clock has gone 7.5. Scotty Montgomery for Aubrey Wodonga MG. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, that's the goal they needed, didn't they? Getting a bit of momentum. Only 7.5 minutes gone on the time clock so far in this last quarter. Plenty of time. Probably another 20 minutes or so left. Only got to kick those 4 goals. So they're just got to make sure every chance they get, they use it. They get it inside 50, get it nice and deep, and try and make sure they put the Swans under pressure in this last 20 minutes.
A couple of more goals for the Yak boys, and it could be a realistic opportunity for them.
Yeah, Lockie McMillan missed last week's final with that ankle injury. Bouncing ball, Lawson. And he took on Gray. Now, that's exactly what they need at this stage of the game. And then goes to the left foot. No, into the pocket. Lappin going back and takes the mark. And he wants to shift it out wide. Well done. Finding Garside. Garside. High ball left of centre wing. Down on the far side. Oh, well done by Meyer. Just to get it into space. Flick it over the back. McGee. Done a few handy things today. To Ritchie. Just gets rid of it in the nick of time. Over the top of Garland, setting inside 50 here. The Pony Club head, Lingham. McInnes. Donaghy. Ruse need the next one.
Loved his work rate today, Nick Donaghy. It hasn't been his day, but he's been able to get a lot of his touches up and around the middle of the ground and really worked hard for his team.
Had a super season, the Ruse. If they are to keep it alive, the next major is crucial. Here goes Petrala. He's a thumping kick, and there he goes. There's a driving ball to the gap road end. Good work from McMillan. Ground level. Look at them going in for the biscuit. McMillan again. Left foot. Pratt. Jeez, been solid back there. And concede, Scotty.
Yeah, Lockie McMillan there did absolutely everything right apart from take the mark. Read the ball well and released it exactly the right time against his opponent, but just wasn't able to take the mark because it would have been another one you would have thought with how skillful Lockie McMillan is from 20 metres out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, and it's pretty even here. 6 inside 50s for Chilton and 5 in for Yakandanda, but look to be the better of the teams this last quarter.
We'll go around the grounds again very shortly, but as we know, Osmond had a mighty break on Holbrook. And we'll get an O&M score as well. Gee, 2 massive games being played outside around the district. And this one just as big. There goes McInnes looking for Petrala. Oh, he's been wonderful, Ethan. He's been so good. And then he goes with a left foot. It was nice to Maslin. Down the line to Lawson. Now Maslin back to him. Mason was after him. Pratt receives it. Left foot. Now Ritchie's got to go here, so too is McGee. Petrala joins the contest. Good shepherd from Ritchie for McGee. Finds Hibberson. Brad, he's been a little quiet today. He won't mind though, because his Swannies are up at the moment. And at this stage they're heading through to the GF. Doolan. Hibberson joins the contest out wide there. Here's Logan Martin. Lingham. And then just a little one out to the advantage of Garland. Now he's at the bottom of the pack. Umpire's going to call for it.
Just around the grounds quickly in town at the Martin Park. We have Yarrawonga 54 leading Albury 32 in the last quarter, while out at Walbundru Sports Ground it is Osmond 67 leading Holbrook 26.
I can't believe it.
AFL GWS 5-4-34 lead St Kilda 2-4-16.
Just give us that one again, Scotty.
Three goal lead.
No, I didn't. Sorry. I'll just make it clear. I didn't mean to be a smarty pants. What is it? It's the Giants up, is it?
Yes.
34 to
16.
34 to 16.
Just rub it in, Luke. You just keep rubbing it in.
Carefully, Luke.
Oh, I missed
just
it.
Put it in that wound that he's got open at the moment.
I wanted to hear it again, and I genuinely missed it. Scooter. Pratt, half-back flank.
Glad I'm over this end.
Yeah.
To McGee. The inside ball to
Pratty.
Yeah, he's hit the deck. He just lost his footing.
Jet lag.
Here goes Huey Jarrett.
I think he's done an ankle or
Left
something,
foot heading down the line. Bouncing ball. Who's first to this? Garside going after it. And hits it across the line.
He doesn't look too good, does he, Brady? I feel bad making that jet lag joke because he is definitely hobbling.
He's got a little bit tangled up with his feet. It wasn't the greatest handball. It was a little bit behind him. He had to try and reach back for it. And when you're a little bit tired, he's a bit older in the legs, and he's obviously got that jet lag, as you said, Dan. Yeah, it's a bit hard to change direction like that.
Yeah.
He's hopping to the bench.
He is.
It's loosening up. His run's getting better and better the closer to the bench he gets.
And when he comes down here, Scooter, you'll have a great opportunity to tell him about Dan Baccaro's joke there about jet lag. Here's Cole Cooper. Yeah, he's feeling it, isn't he, that right ankle. So Cole's got the ball here for the Swans. It's getting close to saying that they are a lock for next Saturday's grand final. Garland came over the top, got hands for it. Second attempt, Doolan brings into the deck. Umpire's going to call for it. You heard the Chilton bench.
Wishful thinking there from Chilton, unfortunately. It's definitely a ball up.
Yeah. Rightio. Leach, Doolan, Ritchie. Petrala's got him. Umpire to have it.
And Chilton will love this for the next 2 or 3 minutes, won't they? Just chew up as much clock as they can. Just make it a little bit harder as the clock winds down.
He's put a total can of that freeze juice on Pratt's ankle down there, Scott Montgomery.
The magic spray, it always works.
Yeah, the magic spray. Yeah, Pratt's...
Still walking around on it, so I reckon he'll be right.
Yeah, that's it. He's doing his best to keep some movement in it. At this stage, he's playing next Saturday in a grand final. Here's Meyer. And gets it off to Gray. Under pressure, got his kick away. Griska, hands to it. Goes again, Billy. Well done. Great work from him. And then chips just over the top of McBurney. Gray, good fist away. Back to Griska. Nice follow-up work. Left foot lapping. Takes it on the half-back flank. He just picks them off, Scott Montgomery.
He does, and it was great pressure from Nick Stevens too to put on Griska.
Donaghy. Yep. In they go. So the Ruse have got it through McMillan, and it goes without saying, Lockie has to kick this if the Ruse are to win this footy game.
Just a really poor kick from Finn Lappin there, just turned it straight over, and another nice kick inside 50 from Nick Donaghy. He's been really good with those kicks today. Just sat it out in front, and Lockie McMillan looked lively since he's gone forward in this last quarter.
He's played the ultimate team game, Nick Donaghy, hasn't he?
Yep, he's worked his arse off.
Huge kick in the context of this game. Lockie McMillan must kick it for the Yakandana Football Club if there are any chance of making it through to the big dance, and he's hooked it.
Short.
Yep, still in play. In the pocket. Far side here, gap road end. Ball comes out, bit of space. Williams went the man, not the ball. McBurney fires in, comes out to Casey George.
Didn't think he had it.
And then this is Ash Van Claveren for the Swans. He's brought down, and the umpire's going to call for it. Rightio, so time ticking away for the Ruse.
14, almost 15 minutes gone.
Yeah. Chilton lead on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. 54-36. Last turn brought to you by Tallangatta Construction and Maintenance.
Be about 10 minutes left, I reckon, fellas.
Yeah, 15 gone. Jappo Donks Time Club.
Got a lovely photo just here, boys. Live streaming Brad Jones up on the Gold Coast. The sun and the surf out right hand side, and the
be a bit warmer there than what it is here, I reckon, Scooter.
Up on the Goldie.
Him and his old man Cam having a wee over time.
Beautiful. And hello to Dimmer if he's tuned in. Griska. Richie's got him. You heard the call. Here's Vandermeer. Late whistle. Now, where did that come from?
Yeah, it took it out of bounds.
Vandermeer had a smile too. He knew he was over the fence.
Great call there, Billy Up.
Yeah, boundary umpire's got a smile on too. He smiles around and he brings it in.
He loves it.
Oh, country footy at its absolute optimum. Here goes McLean. Inside to Meyer. Meyer. High ball inside 50. Pony Club in. Let's have a look. Oh, big fist away by Angus Lingham. And no matter what happens in the final minutes of this footy game, he has been absolutely super all final series.
And he's been really good today too. Caleb Boxall has not had much of an impact at all on today's game.
Don't worry about the big ruckman in Leach and Meyer. Did you see the last ruck contest? Huey Jarrett on Mitch Hemming.
Yeah, and Marshall takes it out of bounds.
That's ordinary by the ruckman. You can't let the Ferraris take the ruck contest, surely.
Yeah.
Especially big Scotty Meyer.
He's just sitting a kick behind now, Scotty. He's just trying to win this game for him.
Here we go. Vandermeer bursting through. High ball, one-on-one down to the goal square. Boxall over the top. Liam got a fist with Kyle Cooper. This will wrap it up.
No left foot.
No left foot.
Yeah.
At all.
Had to get back onto it.
My goodness.
Liam out to Logan Martin, so the Ruse breathe again.
Could have walked into the goal line and dropped it on his foot, couldn't he, Scoop?
I'm amused at what just happened.
Dare
there.
I say it, even you and I had an opposite foot in that situation.
Oh, absolutely we did. From 5 metres out we did.
Kyle Cooper here, he's trying to make amends for it for his team.
Gee whiz.
Here he goes. Short ball.
I reckon Stephen Hawking has an opposite in that situation.
Finds Jake Cooper. That was Dan Vaccaro. I'll make it absolutely clear.
Yep.
That was Daniel Vaccaro. Salami Dan. Jake Cooper. This could put the Swannies through to the grand final for next week. This would stamp the papers, close it out.
It's a long way out. I don't know if he's got this in his legs, Jakey.
And he puts it up there. Brooks. Nope. Ball goes to ground. And it's tied up in the pocket. Ashton at the bottom of it.
Connor Marshall's battled really well for Yak today, pretty much in every spot on the ground. contested there in the defence, and he's also taken some great outdoors mark of the day contenders.
McGee, the ball down. Huey Jarrett. Petrala to Lee Dale. To Williams. Next kick is so important. And here he goes to centre wing. It's a high one. Guess who's under this? Lappin and also Pratt. They've been great for the red and white.
Ankle looks all right for Pratty.
It does. Stevens. McBurney. Pressure from the other side. Ben Jones off to Hibbison. Hibbison forward entry here. Swinging ball. Let's have a look. Martin got hands to it. Lingham turns around. He's got a man out the back in Garland. Short one to Houston. Fires one out wide. McInnes taps it back to Lingham. Oh, Doolan just slipped at a vital stage.
He's a fantastic football, Lingham, isn't he?
Oh, he is. He's a star. And Houston dragged down the clean. I tell you what, it's been fantastic, particularly in the second half, this TDFL prelim final. Great footy. Into McGee.
Yes, let's take his time here, McGee. Just take as much time off the clock, full 30 seconds, and really waste it down. If he can get it close to the goal line and try and lock it in or get it through, it nearly puts the one of the nails in the coffin, I think, for Yakamander if he can put this one through.
Bit of a competition going on, boys. People texting in where they're watching from.
Oh.
Where else have we got?
Who's better than that?
A high-rise in Craigieburn. G'day to Merckx.
High rising crack.
Merckx actually used to have the Telegraph Hotel in Chile.
Have we heard from Dimmer yet?
Is there a
Have you heard
high
from Dimmer? From the goal. Here goes McGee. Kyle strikes it nicely, short again. Over the back.
He's kicked this.
Vandermeer. Swannies through to the big one. Chilton will play in the grand final next Saturday against the Kiwa Sandy Creek Hawks.
Oh, just did not give up on it. Everyone flew and he just stood on the ground and dropped the chest mark in the end. Jaden Vandermeer was able to just get a toe poke on it and put it through for another goal. And I'll tell you what, they've looked good, Chilton, in times, haven't they? They looked a little bit scrappy as well, but Jaden Vandermeer kicks his second for the game. And I think that might be all she wrote, boys.
Yeah, he's been fantastic today, Vandermeer as well. So 17 disposals. He's kicked 2 goals. He's probably been their most important player. And he set the tone early in the game too, Vandermeer, with that goal from the pocket.
Yep, very good. Great goal. Right on the line at the Pony Club end.
Free kick to Chilton.
Yeah, Hibbison's going to get it. Now, I'm too scared to ask Scotty Scooter Fraser, guys. As you know, I'm sitting right alongside of him. Can someone please give me an AFL score between the Saints and the Giants?
I'll do it. It's 53 to 17.
Good man, Scooter.
Not a
Is it
great
really?
start.
What stage?
And
And then comes wide here, the Swans.
8 minutes to go before half time.
Gee, that's a big break, isn't it? Here's Vandermeer.
Smart.
Yep. Picks up Jake Cooper. And he's indicating he's going to have a shot, Jake. He's going to take all the time in the world. A bit of me time here, Scotty Montgomery.
Yeah, he doesn't mind. He knows the camera's zoomed in nice and close. Logan Cartwright there. He's zooming in on him, and Jake, he'll just take his time here. And I reckon he might do what he did last time, is pop it out into a pocket of space and hope for a mark.
This is why it's so important to get a haircut during the week during finals.
Just look good for camera.
That's it. You want to be looking your best. Now, Jake steers it short again.
Oh.
And then
Thought it fell through a few
he's
hands.
found the line. Yep. Okay, Jappo Donk's time clock has gone 21 and a half final term. It's brought to you by the Tallangatta Construction and Maintenance Group.
Just a quick around the grounds, boys. Yarrawonga 56 leading Albury 39. And in the Hume League, Osborne are home. It's 67 to 32 out there.
Gee, a massive win for Osborne that's going to be. Wow.
The competition continues with Joe Brown streaming from Cairns.
Oh, that's nice.
Cairns.
That's a bit better than Craigieburn.
Nice Cairns, yeah.
Ash Van Clavering goes forward. Guess who? Angus Lingham.
He's been great.
He's a star, I tell you what. The Ruse want to hold on to him for next year. His phone will be ringing hot in the summer.
If you hear that clap, it's Mark Doolan.
Yep.
Coming off
They put
as
on
well.
ice, I reckon. Doogs, no point. The old timers still running around in the game like this at the moment.
Been a great footballer for a long time, Mark Doolan.
Out towards Houston in a race with Brooks. Ashton had him wrapped up. Here goes Richie. Back to Brooks. They worked it well, the Swans. And then that is nice. Beautiful delivery. Good footy, Ashton Brooks to Vandermeer. Here goes Jaden.
Great.
Sends it in to McGee. And it's important that the Ruse play through to the finish line here, Scotty.
Yeah, absolutely it is. They don't want to get blown out and give 3 or 4 up real late, but Scotty Myers has come off also, boys, so they're putting the key on the rack of a few of them, Chilton.
Scott Montgomery for Albury Wodonga MG. Dan Vaccaro has been on the Mac Jack stats. Thanks to Phil Packer and the crew. Great sponsors of the TDFL live stream. The Charcoal Kings. Scooter Fraser here with us. Oh, McGee. That one's blown off the side and gone through for 1- score. 62 plays 36 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. Final term ticking away here. We've gone over 23. The Chiltern Swans will play the Key West Sandy Creek Hawks in next Saturday's Duns Twin City Cranes TDFL Grand Final for 2023. They've been very good today. They have won 8-14-62 to the Yakandana Ruse 4-12-36. A very good win, Dan Vaccaro. They were too good today, the Swannies.
Yeah, they were. Yak had their moments, and Chiltern just really put it in the queue in the rack there, and a great win, and they go into a huge final against Key West Sandy Creek next week, Lukey, and it was a good finish, and just all their stars stood up today. Jaden Vandermeer was fantastic. Scotty Meyer was great. Pratt, who came in off the tarmac, he was just brilliant off half back. So there's a couple of choices where they could go to for best on. My vote's for Vandermeer. I thought he was great for the whole 4 quarters. Pratt, you wouldn't be disappointed with as well, I don't think.
No, you're absolutely right about that. Now, I believe Scotty Montgomery is making his way out onto the field of play here at the Sandy Creek Reserve. He's going to try and grab a player for us. Should be fantastic. That final term was brought to you by Tallangatta Construction and Maintenance. Yeah, the final score, hey, on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. The Swans 62, beating Yak today 36. Now, there goes Scotty. Which way do you reckon he's going to wander? Out towards Jaden?
I reckon he's going to get Pratty. I reckon that was
his man
from the start of the... Oh, no, he's turned away.
He's turned away. He's found someone he knows, and that's Caleb Boxall.
It's Ethan Boxall.
Oh, it's Ethan Boxall, is it?
Very similar. They're twins.
Yeah, okay.
But, yeah, Ethan's been injured for most of the year. So
Didn't know he had a twin. There you go.
Sidelines today. He played a lot of footy at Raiders. Ethan, he was a fantastic footballer too in his young days. So he will go to either Pratt or Vandermeer, I'm feeling. They were both fantastic all day. Pratt, I didn't take his stats, unfortunately, but he probably would have had 20-25 off half-back. And he was that really cool head. They're probably Yakandanda lacked someone like them today. You've obviously got Lingham, who was fantastic for Yakandanda. But, yeah, I think Pratt or Vandermeer were best on today for mine.
Absolutely. Rightio. So let's have a look. Here goes Scott. He's going towards Pratty. Oh, Dan Vaccaro, you're on the money.
Yeah.
He's with Pratty at the moment. John Pratt, down to you, Scotty, for Albury Wodonga MG.
Yeah, boys. Type our player of the day is John Pratt, mate. Not long back in the country I hear, and really good result today to get the win.
Yeah, back in the country yesterday, so yeah, it's a bit of a whirlwind, to be honest, mate. I'm over the moon, and yeah, it was a terrific win. We just didn't stop, and the footy we've been playing the last 5 or 6 weeks is, really good footy, so fingers crossed for next week.
And did you know that you're going to play, or was it a bit of a late call-up with Bodie obviously going out?
No, I knew. It's always touch and go, mate. You know, we've been playing that good a footy, like I said. To come back into the side, someone's going to miss out. But yeah, I've obviously been in conversations with Brad throughout the year about my work commitments, and they've catered to me, which is fantastic. So yeah.
And you come off hobbling, mate, or just a rolled ankle, or old age? What was it?
A combination of both. I was by myself over the years, you probably saw, and just went over on myself, which is pretty embarrassing. But I'll be right. It's just a little sore ankle.
Mate, well, good luck for next week against Kiwa, and all the best. Go and enjoy tonight.
Man, thank you very much.
There he was, John Pratt, the Tyre Power player of the day to the prelim final today. And what a beauty it was. Now, Dan Vaccaro, let's have a look at the Mac Jack stats sheet for the prelim final. What do you got for us, mate?
We were doing it for Mac Jack Shed. So Chiltern, obviously the better teams today, 43 inside 50s to 35 Yakandanda. So they evened it up, Yakandanda, a little bit in that second half. But Chiltern from the get-go were better in that regard. 8 marks inside 50 apiece, so even there. Lee Dale was fantastic for Yakandanda. He had 20 disposals, probably best for Yakandanda for mine. I thought Benny McIntosh obviously knocked out earlier. I was doing his stats. He had 10 disposals up to half-time. Lockie Mack got him back into the game, but quiet for his standards. He had 7 disposals. Vandermeer had 19 and 2 goals. I thought he was one of the best on ground today. Mitch Hemingway got down for 15. Kyle Cooper had the 10 touches, and Finn Lappin 10 touches as well on the Mac Jack Shed stat sheet, Lukey.
Yeah, great work, Dan Vaccaro. The post-game is for A-grade oils and batteries. A-grade oils and batteries, and they brought up a great, little tray for us there.
How good is this? Scooter Fraser's he's speechless. He's just...
Sorry, I haven't been involved for the last 10 minutes. I've been feeding on this. Paul Dale brought it up at half-time.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Great guys at A-grade oils and batteries.
That's it. Here come the Swannies. Listen to the crowd underneath us. They lift on the rumble. Down in the sheds, Dan Vaccaro.
Absolutely, it's great to see the whole town. So they're all filing in at the moment, but happy days for Chiltern. They're into the big dance and in with a shot against Kiva.
That's it. And there's a couple of people, supporters, following them in with a few light refreshments there too, Dan.
There's always a few light refreshments. I wonder if Monty can get a spot for the song, but
yeah, that's it.
There's a fair few filing in for sure.
Absolutely. Rightio, won't they sing this with some gusto? They'll probably lift us in front of out of the commentary box here.
Yeah, we might go out the window here, I reckon.
To go, it was the Swannies today winning through to the TDFL Grand Final for 2023, 62-36. Yeah, there you have it. They kicked the first 5 goals of the game, the Swans, and it was always going to be hard for the Ruse to work their way back from there. And they went straight to the front and stayed there, the Swannies. And they'll play the Kiwi Sandy Creek Hawks in next Saturday's grand final. What a belter that is going to be, Scooter. What an absolute ripper. Oh, you're still on the tray there.
I've got a gherkin in my mouth now. Told you, these A-grade oils and batteries, platters are beautiful.
Fantastic.
Chiltern and Kiwi were in the grand final for the second year in a row in the seniors, and Chiltern will play Yakandanda in the reserve, so big day for the Swans.
Yeah, now we've got to say, for those who are just tuning in on to our live stream late, there was an incident just prior to half-time. Finn Lappin and Ben McIntosh met just left of centre wing in front of our broadcast spot here, and the ball was between them. McIntosh was going back to the flight of the ball, Lappin coming from the opposite direction. They met heavily, and as a result of that, Ben McIntosh went down, was concussed, and left the ground on a stretcher. Now, we understand he's all right at this stage.
I think the ambulance has...
Scooter, okay, he's taken him away.
But I can tell you, the paperwork's already filled out by Yakandanda for an incident report, so...
Okay. Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we just hope he's okay in this.
Terrible incident.
That's right.
It'll play out during the week.
That's right. So Finn Lappin will have a long week during the week leading up to the grand final, but let's hope Ben is quite okay, because no one ever wants to see that. So, yeah, it was a bit of a rough up after that, and then I think we heard the half-time siren, didn't we? Thank goodness, and then everything sort of settled down a little. Players were able to cool off, and they went in to the sheds, and then we're back to the second half. But all our thoughts with Ben McIntosh and with his family. Rightio, Scooter, the week off for the Hawks. They'll be absolutely primed, tuned up, and ready to go next Saturday up against this Chiltern Swans team who's been impressive the last couple of weeks. What are your early thoughts at this stage?
Oh, look, the way Kiwi were last week, I know Chiltern are the only one to beat them, but I just think the Hawks have got revenge on their mind for last year. You know, obviously it was terrible conditions.
Yeah.
There's only minimal goals kicked, but I think at the moment it's the Hawks to lose. Obviously the Swans are probably going to be without Lappin, without going any further, so that could be a big loss to them. And but I just think the Hawks, what they did to Yak last week was relentless.
They were impressive, weren't they?
I've used the word relentless.
Unrelenting,
for the whole
they
7
were.
days.
Yep.
It sums them up perfectly, though, doesn't it,
Yeah.
Kiwa?
Yep.
Kiwa last week against...
It was such a professional win.
And 26 degrees next Saturday. They're just such a fit side. They run, they spread really quickly, and they're just everywhere. So, early days. I think it's the Hawks to lose.
Absolutely. Rightio, Scott Montgomery is down on ground level for Albury Wodonga MG. He's got Brad Hibberson with us. Down to you, Scotty.
Yeah, g'day boys. Got Hibbo, mate. Well done. Good win, and we spoke off there. You probably had it done by quarter time. You had to keep me straight, but the skills were down a little bit. Probably relates to the pressure of the game from both teams.
Yeah. Look, we made it hard work of it. Our skills were down. We were missing targets. They brought the pressure after quarter time, which was credit to them. But we just had to fight it out. It was probably not a real good game to watch, I wouldn't have thought, but anyway, you get them games in finals, and yeah, I'm happy. We're there now, so see what happens.
Just talking to one of the boys who's not playing, you reckon it's all him on the board. Boxy, he said that it was his move, so he said he was the one that told Scotty to go kick behind and play and all that sort of stuff, or was that set play early on?
Well, I'll blame him for making the season hard. We could have got his ankle done early days and we would have been right, but yeah, no. Full trust in the boys. They must have said it. I didn't have anything to do with it, so yeah, do that.
And you got to love having Johnny Bratt fly back into the country on a Friday night, mate, and then comes up and has a performance like that. Just really led that back six early and was able to really calm him down, especially when you were a man down for a little while there.
Yeah. Well, like he's a class act. He's been around for a long time. Like Dools, they just can stand up in big games, and we knew we had to pick him just off the last game he played against Kiwa. He was sensational, one of our best players. So 3 weeks off and coming back in, yeah, I didn't doubt him for a second. So went for a run yesterday when he got back in at 9 o'clock. So yeah, happy with it. And
your week leading into the granny, mate, obviously repeated last year, go against Kiwa again. Conditions are looking like they'll be a little bit better. Will be a light week on the track, a bit of a solid week, or what are you looking at?
After today, we'll be doing all skills. I tell you, mate, it wasn't. Yeah, just. Same thing. We did about a month ago. We did all the hard work, did a lot of running for this reason to come to Sandy Creek on hot days. And today wasn't as hot, but it's going to be I think 25 next week, sunny. So yeah, hopefully our fitness can come into it. And yeah, right.
Straight upstairs to the boys for a couple of questions, mate.
Yeah, g'day, Brad. Luke Francis here. Congratulations, mate. Super win, and you've obviously got a genuine chance of going back to back next week. What was the main message on the track during the week coming into this one versus the Ruse?
Yeah, obviously, well, early in the week, we were just trying to get our body right after a 6-day turnaround. Focused heavily on skills, even though you wouldn't have thought today, but yeah, just all skill work, all ball movement, sort of stuff, knowing that Yakka are a totally different side to Beechworth. They're similar to us. They like to run the footy and use the footy. So yeah, it was just all skills and then yeah, just a few focus points, players we had to man up and stuff like that. So yeah.
Hibbo, congratulations again, mate. Fantastic win. I want to talk to you about your ruckman, mate. Scotty Moore, I'm not too sure I've seen a better ruckman in the TDFL. He's just an unbelievable footballer. How much does he get you guys rallied around the footy, and how much does he make your midfield perform better when he's around the ball?
Well, he's just got experience, his voice, his assistant coach, so obviously he stands up in the big games too. Yeah, he's super. He'll fight and fight and fight, even though he's old body. I'm glad you didn't interview him after the game because he was going to give me a spray from last week, me giving him the spray, but yeah, no, he's super. I can't ask any more of the big fella. So.
And Brad, we know Kyle Cooper, just how talented he is and what he can do when he's up and about. 2 back-to-back goals here at the start of the second term really sparked your Swannies.
Oh yeah, them 2 goals, it's just what we needed. That's what he's like. He's got flair and he's pace and quick and good overhead. He's a utility, that's for sure. We've been playing him mainly forward just because he's such a hard matchup and it's sort of working for us because he's good around goals. So.
Yeah, and now you guys obviously won the flag last year for the first time since crossing to the TDFL. So you're about to run through a situation you're used to now with this week ahead. So how will you guys go about it? What will your prep be like?
Yeah, just you try to treat it like a normal week. Obviously, it is a normal week. There's extra pressure. I actually think the hard work's getting there, and once you're there, the pressure's sort of off, and then it's just whatever comes on the day, and we just give it our all. But yeah, I don't know how the young boys are going to take it. I just try to work through that, keep them level-headed, and just work on the things we need to, and focus on our game. That's all you can do, and then just turn up, and the best side will win on the day. So
yeah, fantastic. Brad, thank you so much for joining us. Your time is much appreciated. Again, congratulations. All the best for the big one next Saturday.
All right, cheers, fellas.
Here he was, Brad Hibberson, joining us, the coach of the Chiltern Swans, and they're poised and ready to give it their best next Saturday versus the Hawkers, Dan.
Yeah, and the Hawkers, they're a pretty good outfit, Chiltern, and Kiwa, so it's going to be a ripper game. It's just going to depend on who comes out the best and who's best on the day. Kiwa probably look a little bit better than Chiltern, but on the day, you just don't know. Anything can happen. It's a 50-50, Lukey.
That's exactly right. How good have the finals been here, Scoot? Like this place here, spectacular venue. We love it, and it's put on another great show again today.
Yeah, it's just phenomenal. To come here.
Yeah, it's a special joint, isn't it?
It is.
Yep.
There's probably 100 kids on the ground still having a kick of the footy with their parents, and just a good feeling. It's all about community, the TDFL, and next week I haven't done a full summation of it, but I think we might have 9 of the 12 clubs represented on the field and the court. So,
wow, that is huge.
So get out here, 25, 26 degrees, and enjoy a great day of Dunn's Twin City Cranes footy and netball.
Absolutely, the post game for A-grade oars and batteries. Now, how are we going for that platter over there, Dan? Have you
it's
Scooter?
it's making its way down, Lukey. We'll save you a little bit for later.
Yeah, no, thanks very much, Dan.
Yeah, we haven't really thought about you that much. We're just worried about the platter.
Size of the olives.
No, that's great.
I genuinely, when I do ask this question, I am actually after the score. I don't mean it with a few daggers, Scooter. I do mean that.
I've given up.
Let's have a look. What do we got, Dan, between the Saints and the Giants?
We are getting it booted up. Coming back, St Kilda. So 23 points down, 42 to 65.
Oh, you're back in town. What stage, Dan?
St Kilda, 18 minutes left in the third quarter, so plenty of time, Lukey. So if they can get 1 or even 2 before three-quarter time, they're well in at the Saints. I tipped the Saints, so surprised they got out to that lead, the GWS.
The AFL have probably got it all worked out for GWS to win through.
Their baby, isn't it?
They've sorted Dimmer out on the Gold Coast. They'll be trying to get all those new franchise clubs in. And
now, Dan,
they look after Collingwood too.
Yeah, the Pies, that's it. Dan, did the Pigeons get home in the O&M?
They did. Yep. I don't have the exact score on me. I will find out for you. But they did beat
the Albury Tigers.
Absolutely, they did. So,
wow, in the second semi-final.
They did.
In the Hume League, Osborne, they were home a long way out from the finish line, weren't they?
Yeah, Osborne got the job done over Robbie's Holbrook boys there, so that was all done.
I wonder if Sharpie's using the same sort of tactic. Remember last year he said we only have to beat Osborne once?
Yep.
And they did.
Yep.
So,
that's it. I'll let you know too, in the McEwen Stakes at Moonee Valley, it was Imperatriz winning from Rothfire, and Giga Kick has finished third. So Imperatriz taking out the McEwen, and the Fian coming up next. And I'll have to have a look at Sydney as well, so some big races on there as well. What do you got for us, Dan? Yeah, okay. We'll have one last rundown, mate, of the MacJack stat sheet.
Yeah, we will.
For today in the prelim final.
Yeah, great win there by Chilton. So 35 inside 50s, Yakandanda to 43 Chilton, so they got the better of it. Lee Dale, I thought, was best on today. He was fantastic, 20 disposals. Benny McIntosh, as we said, terrible incident, but he was going well up until half-time, 10 disposals. Lockie McMillan got him back into the game. He had a very quiet day for his stands, only the 8 disposals. Vandermeer for Chilton was fantastic, 19. Mitch Hemming, 10 disposals. Kyle Cooper had the 8, and Finn Lappin had the 10 disposals. On the MacJack Shed stat sheet, Lukey.
Dan Vaccaro, well done, Salami. Dan, you've been fantastic today.
No worries at all, boys.
You're always great.
Always.
Well done, mate. Scooter Fraser for the Charcoal Kings. Well done, Scooter. Big week coming up.
Pleasure, boys, and we're looking forward to getting the ground even better for next week and seeing all the crowd out here.
MCG of the Bush.
That's it. And Scotty Montgomery for Aubrey Wodonga MG has been fantastic. Our A-grade game, Adeliza, on the mark again today. And from yours truly, Luke Francis, thank you so much for joining us on the TDFL live stream on prelim final day. It was the Chilton Swans, 8-14-62 to the Yakandana Ruse, 4-12-36. In next Saturday's TDFL grand final, it will be the Kiwa Sandy Creek Hawks up against the Chilton Swans. Goodbye for now. Talk to you soon.
Need a computer that won't crash? Need your Wi-Fi turbocharged? Need better data backup? Whatever you need your computer to do, Wangaratta Computers will help you do it better. Because that's what we do best. wangarattacomputers.com.au.
Write it, space it, and erase it.
Finer embroidery is in the fabric of our community. Any logo on anything so your business can proudly present themselves well. Embroidery that adds that personal touch that doesn't break the bank. Join the Finer Embroidery community today. Proudly supporting the TDFL.
you get the job done. We'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes. For your semis, riggers, spotters, cranes. Safety is our second name. You're looking pretty with Dunn's Twin City. No job's out of reach. Rig it, lift it, move it, shift it. No fuss, talk to us. We'll help you get the job done. We'll make your job a smooth one. Dunn's Twin City Cranes.